Successful streamers, successful streamers. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We find ourselves.
Oh, you can't see me.
What do you mean you can't see me?
Too far down in my chair.
The way your pillow is, like, makes it look like your camera
You're
is
almost
like diagonal or something. Like we got like some kind of weird action camera going on here.
Okay, so
like my head's like way at the top. I gotta go like this.
You shrink. I gotta raise up. Okay.
Hello?
Sorry, I thought there was someone outside of my home. Hello, everyone.
Was it, or was it thunder?
I couldn't tell. It was one of the two. Either way, we thought we would start this week off with a recap of everything that has gone on here in Orathio, because we haven't put out any VODs or any YouTube videos yet, and so this is going to be the quickest way to maybe put one quick thing together, and then we'll start trying to do weekly YouTubes and VODs sooner than later. But the Nation of Orathio stands as a beacon, the last surviving nation after the war on magic 200 years ago. At its heart is the capital, a massive, massive capital, the city divided into rings, much like its people, divided into castes. Each ring has its own type of class and type of people, with the furthest ring representing the poorest citizens. Above the walled city, the spires of the magical Academy of Strixhaven float above the ground, ancient magic keeping the school's island high above the rest of the world. Our heroes come from different rings. Selene lives in the scraps, a rough and troubled ring of criminals and addicts and beggars. Hugh lives in the 11th ring, known as the pipes, the heart of the system that pumps the purple liquid that powers the city. Asher and Mollie are twins from the 9th ring. Mollie felt at home in the forest, training her magic and winning pageants, while Asher left to take a position in the holy 4th ring, known to most as the Cathedral district. Sherlock had lived his life in books, hungry for knowledge and with an insatiable curiosity. He calls his uncle's museum home. The prestigious 3rd ring is home to Sage Soulspeaker, where he is known as a gifted storyteller. These unlikely classmates in Class C were labeled as the Undesirables their first day, though their sheer power shone brightly in the entry tournament. When the students were playing Capture the Flag, they lost time to the SHADOWFELL after being attacked by a band of rogue magehunters, an amassed individual that claimed pieces of flesh from some of the students. Despite this hiccup, the students were instructed to move on with the school year, starting by finding a missing girl that Mollie was kin with, or friends with at least. In searching, they fought against a 4-armed man and found themselves under the Refuge. It should have been a haven for abandoned children and weary wanderers, but since Corbin Simic has taken over, he and his apprentices have used the Refuge as a source of lab rats that nobody would look for. Selene started experiencing sickening flashbacks, feeling like she may have once lived there. Corbin's experiments have gone far past scientific curiosity, and his experiments become grossly mutated. Corbin asked Myst to fight them, not knowing that Selene and Myst had once lived together and had similar goals. Myst said she would observe for the group after Corbin separated away from the combat through a dimensional door. The party soon discovered that the Soulspeaker house may be involved with what Corbin was doing to these children, at least on a financial level, based on the financial documents they found. Now the question is, where do we go from here? So, that is our recap as what has happened in Season 1. That is leaving out a lot of details, a lot of people and different things that have happened. We have a whole second class that regularly plays, like characters that come in when we are missing people. But for the time being, that will serve as a good recap and something I can highlight and put on the front of our channel for those who wish to know where we're at. However, this week, most of you have either agreed or will probably be dragged along in some misdoings. Misdoings may not be the proper way to say it, of Selene and her mechanic friend, also possibly Sage's little sister, Shorty. And so after the sickening fight and accidental drugging slash conundrum that happened at the rave last week, you've all had a relatively quiet week at school. You had classes, you've had some tests, you're nearing the end of your first month here at Strixhaven. And there were no jobs presented after some of you were unceremoniously drugged at the rave, out of fear on the college's behalf that you may pursue some sort of justice. So they basically gave you a week off to kind of bribe you. With that, Selene has slowly been asking individuals, certain ones had no restraint or no want to not be involved in this, and some people have spoken about their distrust of it, but there is a large race coming up this weekend on the outside of the town. It happens in what's called the Wastes, which is a older forest, some of which is like old dead trees, some of which is still thriving. Normally it happens on motorcycle type things, but a few episodes back, Selene was introduced to what Shorty called a crusher, which was a 3-manned vehicle that would allow for basic demolition derby to be included with the race aspect. And so today, you find yourselves all heading towards Ring 10. Ring 10's right. Ring 10, where Stormy holds her workshop. Not Stormy, sorry. Shorty holds her workshop. And from there, you all can begin doing your Dungeons and your Dragons. It's a nice day out.
I'm bringing a checkered
What time
flag.
is it?
Okay. It is early morning. Yeah, you can.
Is it my birthday?
You can Dungeons and Dragons now. Yeah, it's early morning as you've been heading out, and Shorty said there were some specifics she needed to know, different aspects of the vehicle that could be modified in a moment's notice if there was something that piqued your interest more than other things. So,
I have full-on plans to be the flag girl.
yes.
Just saying.
Gotcha. We'll see how that works.
Ready.
Yeah, we'll see. Or I'm ready to do cue cards.
So,
It's not
what
a
do we know
boxing
about
match.
this race? Is it like
Well,
it's a demolition derby?
It is a basic combination of both demolition derby and a race. Basically, it's either first to finish 3 laps or last car standing.
Right. Because obviously the last car standing is going to be able to be...
They would then finish the 3 laps, correct, yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Alright. 3 laps.
I'm almost certain that at this point, Selene has convinced Mollie and Hugh to be participating. Shorty convinced Sage, which then probably convinced Sherlock to participate. And Asher is the only one who is kind of just following along without any sort of conviction that he may be doing some sort of race today.
He was
making sure I'm not getting hurt.
I feel like Asher, like he doesn't know what he's doing here. He's feeling kind of just on like the outskirts of the group in general, because he also didn't go to this club thing. So he's like, I don't know if I even want to be hanging out with everybody right now. Like I was like, what are we doing? Like
I'm
you're
gonna
percent
vote for
just a bunch of
It was an
like-
accident that I did drugs, okay? You don't have to hold a grudge against me.
yeah. Asher's just like, well, who are these people that I'm hanging out with? I don't.
Nah, I didn't get any.
It was kinda
I didn't
fun.
do any drugs, so
I am shunned
We are
now.
allowed to have fun. How dare you shame them?
I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just saying I don't know that
You're
this is my.
judging them.
I don't know that this is my scene here.
Right.
I,
And what
that's
exactly
all
is your
that's all I'm
Kind of
saying.
spot for you.
What?
So what exactly is your scene?
I don't know. I guess I'll watch from the sidelines or something.
Okay, as you arrive to what is presumably a relatively small shack kind of workshop, Shorty's waiting outside and says, Sage, is that you?
Yeah, it is me.
I finished that thing you asked me to work on.
And what'd you find out?
I mean, I didn't find out anything, and she pulls out this lyre that has, like, pieces of metal along the back, and she, like, walks up to hand it to you, and then pushes a button, and a sword just kind of flings out of the tip of it. And she says, this is basically what you were looking for, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay, be careful.
Is that a switchblade lyre?
Now I have to come up with a name for this.
You were the one who asked for that?
Yes.
Be careful, bro. It is dangerous. I will say that if there's about a 5% chance that if you swing on someone with this, the blade might just fall straight off. I tried to get it to a point where it would just stay, even if like it was handled not greatly, but it still has some. I mean, you could use it as a projectile weapon in that manner, I suppose. And you see that there's like a.
Bro? Did you just call him bro?
Yeah. I thought I talked to you about this.
Wait, what?
Told me you found out that somebody came up to you and said that, but you didn't believe them.
Well, I didn't at first, but I've had about 2 or 3 weeks since you've last visited, and it makes sense. I've kind of worked it out in my mind. I mean, it makes sense. Like, he has a missing little sister. I'm younger than him. I don't remember a whole lot about my youth. His went missing drowning in a river, so I mean, I guess it's just good news that I'm not dead.
I like that you can just tell the story so nonchalantly like that. But yes, that's what happened.
Like I said, I don't remember much of it. I did want to ask you though, because you're all, and she looks around. She says, "You all go to Strixhaven, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Can you?
Yeah.
She looks at Selene and she says, "Are they cool?"
Sometimes I'm not sure if we're ever at school anymore, but
They're not all cool.
They're not all cool.
The
Okay.
eyes, Asher, who this is not his scene.
Well,
I'm cool.
Yeah, you're
Seems to
cool.
me. Okay.
Yeah, you were
Thanks.
cool with it the other night.
she said.
I mean, you're
She said
you
you
are the one that took the drugs.
She said you accidentally got fed drugs, and that makes you cool. That's what I heard.
mean, I survived.
All it takes.
She kind of pulls you
peer
over to the
pressure.
side, Selene, and says, "I was just wondering if I should." And she opens her hand, and you watch as one of these small little crawling robots you had seen previously, but this one looks like it's been refined pretty carefully. I was just wondering if maybe any of them would have any advice or input about where maybe this came from or what happened, or how it would have worked. But if they're not, if they're not cool and they're gonna snitch or something.
No, they're not gonna snitch or anything, but
Oh, okay.
I think they could help you with that.
Snitches get stitches.
All right. Well, she says, "Well, everyone, come inside to my workshop. We've got some decisions to make before you all head on your way. I need to explain the rules of the race to you all. The kind of certain."
Well, if I can get one big attack out of this weapon, I think it'll be okay. It'll be worth it.
Well, like I said,
I'll
it's
make
just like I said, 5% chance, 5%, and that's just the DM's way of saying you roll an at 1, the blade is probably going to go flying. But she kind of walks in and closes the door behind you. And once you're all inside, everybody comes in, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. She closes the door behind you, puts like a large wooden like bar to bar the door, and hits a button on the wall, and you watch as part of the floor kind of slides down into a slope, and leads to a much larger, like, underground garage. This is like kind of like a front.
Fancy.
And so as she walks down there, she says, I wanted to talk to you all about this real quick. It's not a big deal. It's just something I found out. And maybe it makes sense since Sage has magic too. And you watch as 3 different small spider-like, but only 4 legs, mechanical beings kind of crawl up from the like underside of one of these carriages, these metal carriages that are surrounding you now. And she says, I have some sort of manipulation over metal or something.
Ooh.
I can create things really well and sometimes imbue them with magic. And I didn't have magic until about, or at least I didn't know I had magic until about 3 years ago, I guess.
Puberty.
Oh. Is that how it works?
Honestly, I don't know, but Mom always said you go through a change. A woman goes through a change, and I just assumed that that's what it was about.
To be fair, Molly and I's bodies are much different from any other creatures I have come across in my time on this earth, so I don't know if our puberty is the same as other races' puberties.
Oh, you do have a point.
I just got a lot taller. My current condition comes from something else.
Well, I was wondering if it could come from drowning in the river, because the river comes from the island of Strixhaven, right? So, like...
Well, you know, I almost
Maybe
drowned.
like drink too much of the magic water.
Well, I mean, no, I don't think it was that so much, because people drink the magic water all the time. The magic water is, like, one of the major water sources. Maybe it had something to do with the immersion, like what are the religious people? Baptism? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it was something like
That
that.
is what we call it.
I don't know.
Maybe. That's something we might have to look into.
I'd be very appreciative. But to the matter at hand, today we have the race. You all will be working for me, technically speaking. I have paid the way into 2 cars worth of drivers. This is not like your normal races. Normally we drive motorcycles or these we call them speedsters. They are, small vehicles. And she,
Is tiefling I see.
staring straight back at me. So she will.
See trees of green. Clouds of white.
Purple tieflings too.
So she will walk you up to one of these vehicles, which you can see on the Roll20. They are the. Let me pull up the descriptor real quick. You see. She has some in the side, which are 2-wheeled machines that look somewhat like a motorcycle, but it has like these deeper spikes in the wheel to keep traction. The engine, if running, you can tell would be putting off like quite a lot of heat. And the handlebars are shaped like ox horns because of her brand.
My brand.
Good.
You see that she has 2 that look like dune buggy sized. These are the three holder people, basically. These will hold 3 people. One is the driver. One is like stationed at the mid section to defend the driver / fix anything that would be hindering the situation. And the last one has not a turret so much as like think
Moonroof.
well, no, think more, what was the Wind Waker? Think when you went out on the ocean in Wind Waker and put your, like, big claw out? It's got, like, one of those, basically. To get the treasure, you had the big claw that came out of the back of your boat.
Grapple?
Yeah, it's kind of that sort of situation. There's a large grappling turret attached to the back of this.
The vending machine claw?
Yeah, it's the claw. It chooses who will go and who will stay. Then she goes into further description and says, now there are some things we can change about this just in case. If you're not a fan of the claw, I have some other things. I can, instead of a claw, I can kind of boost its mobility and give it some heavier wheels, if that would work better. Or I can, she pulls out this large piece of jagged metal and she says, I could add one of these, but it's not very, like, mobile, and it's a large, like, jaw made of metal, and it basically, she says, you could attach it to the front of the vehicle, and if anyone was in front of you, you could potentially, like...
Run them over.
Well, chop up their car, yeah.
Right, yeah.
She says there's also a wrecking ball that would take the place of the claw. Most of these things are basically single use. The last option being that, there's one that doesn't have, like, any attachments. She says it's faster because it doesn't have anything attached to it. However, if you get hit, there's a much more likely chance of some sort of mishap. And then now I will explain the rules via D&D to you all players. When you get hit above your damage threshold on these vehicles, there's a mishap. You will roll a d20, and these go anywhere from an engine flare that will deal fire damage to everyone on the ship, including the ship, to something like the whole thing flips over, and you have to take a turn to, like, upright it. And so, it's very important. And so she'll say, so first I need to know who's going to be the drivers, and she'll look at the 6 of you.
It's not going to be me. Ain't no way.
Hugh will put his hand up until someone tells him to put it down.
Does it?
I feel like I should be the one that has to drive, but I don't really want to.
Oh, okay. That seems like a good idea.
Does it control? How does it control?
Yeah, what stat are we using?
It will...
use WASD.
Yeah, you'll hit the WASD, and then if you need to do, like, a trick, you smash spacebar as fast as... Yeah. It will
That's not how Genshin works.
It uses... I don't...
The side arrows are strafe, not turn. So, yeah.
God almighty. It doesn't so much use an ability. Technically, it would use vehicle proficiency if you have it.
Did you say that each of these is it's like one of them is 3 people?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so we're not all in one
No, you'll be in 2.
thing. Okay.
She's
Yes,
basically
just check
doubling
my
her
character
chances of winning by betting on 2 different groups. And, she says, I don't know if Selene explained it to you, I'll give you each 100 gold if you succeed. And then Selene has opted to get a bike instead of the 100 gold.
I know, I'm so excited.
But you'll have to succeed, like I said. But I'm betting a larger portion than
Are
100.
we mostly here just to win Selene a bicycle? Is that what's going on?
It's not a bicycle.
Well, like I said, I'll also be paying you all, and you'll be doing me a favor. And as she kind of looks at her older brother and kind of gives a puppy dog eyes and says, and since, I've been without my family for so long, I really would appreciate the assistance from the only brother I have.
Oh, we have to now! Because Mollie's gonna fall for that bunch of bullshit.
I just checked my character sheet and I have proficiency in vehicles land.
Whoa!
No,
I leave Hugh's hand up.
What are the roles of the other 2 people in the vehicle?
One is a
not
defender
driving?
if they want to defend. Also, like the idea of anybody who wanted, you could use that secondary role, basically the mid person, as a repairman or a and she'll explain it in this way, and anyone who wants to at me, feel free to. There are random parcels that will be placed hanging above you throughout this race. They will give you a random object. It would be the second person's job to get at those with their reach. So you could either hit them with, say, a boomerang, or you could shoot them with a bow and arrow, or you can just use an acrobatics check to jump that high. But yes, very much Mario Kart packages are awaiting you.
Well, I
Nice.
suppose I'll do that job then.
Okay. So who's the 2 drivers as of right now?
Unless someone takes it from Hugh, Hugh's gonna volunteer.
Okay.
I'm not taking it from Hugh.
I'll
Especially if you have-
volunteer.
If you have proficiency in it, fuck that.
Well, there's 2
Alright,
drivers. So
alright.
Hugh's gonna do one, and then Sage will do the other one.
I
I
think so.
volunteer.
I think
Yes,
so.
I would love to drive.
Okay. She says, "Have you ever ridden a horse before?"
Of course, I've ridden a horse.
Have I ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
I-
I think it's safe to assume that Sage is the fancy.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a minotaur, right?
Well, yeah, I'm a minotaur too, but how we're built, we can technically ride horses. Isn't that insane? It's almost like
That
the
is
riders of
pretty
this.
insane. I feel like I weigh a lot, but okay.
Yeah,
no.
right.
It's like how I can go swimming.
Yeah.
So no, Sage has never ridden a
Okay,
horse.
so if you don't have not animal handling, if you don't have vehicle proficiency, it'll just be a flat roll whenever there's a drive check, just to explain it. So it's totally fine, but just to let you know. And then the 2 second people, Asher said he would do one of those rolls. This is basically a catch-all place for one person, and then the 3rd position is, depending on what weapon you choose, is either a dexterity position, a athletics or a strength position, or an intelligence position if you like select one of the like trajectory based.
I'm gonna go in the middle.
Okay.
Because
So we got-
the back position, not for me.
Got you. So we've got the Callaway twins taking the middle on both.
I guess we're always gonna be twins.
My
I
aim's
think I'll
pretty
go to
Can't help it. I'm stupid.
Okay, so at that
I've never ridden a horse before, so it's really important to me that I drive this.
So I will
You know,
drive.
if you're gonna
I will
get your
drive this
feet
metal
wet,
horse.
Jump in, you know.
good lord.
Like the adrenaline. I'm feeling it. Believe it. Or something.
Alright, so now she says, "Oh, you've picked your positions, now I need you to pick teams. Who's gonna drive who, and who's gonna be on what ship or buggy?"
I'm going with Hugh.
Alright.
I'll
Who
go
else
with
is on my
Molly.
team?
Alright, so Hugh,
Okay.
Molly, and
I
Sherlock.
guess that decides it.
Who wants to go on the party bus? Okay.
Well, somebody's got to keep Hugh in line because
So-
sometimes he's a little.
Is
Oh, well,
that
crazy.
without
in the
Molly?
middle.
Well,
Can I?
Asher and
we're
Molly
both
have
doing
the
the same job on two different cars.
They both decided to do part 2, so they don't really have the option of being together. Unless one of them wants to switch.
Do I have to be on the party
I'll switch.
bus?
You have to be on the party bus because you didn't go to the party last time, so you got to party at some point.
Well, I was not invited, so
I invited you. You said you wanted to go home and pray.
Asher, if you would like to trade, we can trade.
well, Molly's already going with Hugh, so I can't really do that.
That would make
Asher,
sense.
come on.
I'm in the
Come
third
Come on, man.
position.
Come with me. We got this.
Yeah, but
I
Asher's
need you.
Asher's in the 2nd position, so you'd have to switch positions if that's what you were to do.
Yeah. That's what I was offering.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all right. It's all right. Let's keep it moving.
Why don't we just work together? There's 2 of us versus everybody else then.
Because then we can't both do the same job, silly.
No, I meant as a whole team. Like
She
one of
says,
us.
she looks at you and she says, "That's kind of the idea, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I will tell you there's 7 teams total, and I doubt at least one of them isn't a team of 2 as well, because I have a couple of competitors who are, how do you say, very greedy, rich, noble individuals who like to bet all of their money on situations in which I
them
then..."
down.
Yes.
You don't even have to finish that sentence.
Cool.
They're snakes.
Let's stomp them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Doesn't it defeat the purpose if you tell us
tell us what...
No?
that the games are rigged?
No, they're not rigged. They just that you having a teammate isn't going to be that great of a process because there's other people who also have teammates. Like it's not
So
like
it doesn't-
We
it's
need to work together.
yeah.
Yeah, so it
Take
doesn't
down.
matter
Like
if we're
NASCAR.
all together. We all just
Yeah,
work
correct.
together.
There's a lot of people branded under the same name, so they have
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
chances of winning. Yeah, exactly.
Also, is there a chance that if one of us needs to switch out positions that we could do that?
Yeah, I mean, at any point, it would just take some movement for you to switch if somebody was proven not, not able to pull something off. But yeah, that would be a chance. There would it just probably take some nimble steps to be able to not falter. Okay, so driver on truck 1 is Hugh. Sage's driver on this one. Mollie's number 2. Asher's number 2. Nope, I did that backwards.
Let me add a boss.
Selene is on this one. And Sherlock. Okay, the last thing she'll say is, okay, and all we need to know now is whether you're wanting to take the heavy wheels, the claw, the wrecking ball, the jaws, it's whatever you.
And what do the heavy wheels do again?
Heavy wheels give you the opportunity. They give you a better chance on not flipping because you're heavy based at the bottom, and they also, if for instance you try to run over a creature or a other vehicle, there is a saving throw that vehicle has to make and not get stuck under your broad wheels and take a load of damage.
That sounds like a
Interesting.
new thing to get.
It does, doesn't it?
Can you figure out who's in each car?
The
again?
wrecking ball.
You have Hugh driving for Mollie and Sherlock, and you have Sage driving for Asher and Selene.
We want the wrecking ball.
You want the
Do
wrecking
we
ball?
want to pull up the map?
Good choice.
Yes, I will move to map now.
R1.
Also, Sage kind of
See
looks
the
at
race
you and
too?
is like, whatever happens out there, good luck.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you.
No, we're on the same team. Guys.
Yeah, we're on the
guys,
same team.
Guys, same
But
team.
you know,
We're both
Yeah.
trying to make it
Area
to
out
the
there, you never know.
No.
Sage.
Same team, Sage. Same team.
This is
Oh, my
phenomenal.
Sage,
Go ahead.
I'm relying on you to get us out of tight situations safely. This is actually a big deal. You can't throw us out of the vehicle, okay? I'm telling you to get there as fast as humanly possible, but just maybe we should tie ourselves in somehow.
Hey, Hugh.
Get us
Hugh.
there as fast as minotaurally possible.
Hey, Hugh. Can you get us there as humanly possible? And I nudge him.
yeah.
At this point, Shorty has begun rolling their eyes and is going to put the wrecking ball on one of the ships and then transfer the claw off the other one to give you large wheels.
Okay.
You see that each of these small... Oh, by the way, the two drivers may add a tormentor to their vehicles in
Under extras.
D&D 5 in Beyond under extras, correct?
Tormentor.
We not allowed to use magic for this? Because I want to use magic.
Oh yes, we are.
You're allowed to do whatever you want. There's no rules. I will say, I just heard you say this, Selene, I would not recommend putting your, tying yourself to the vehicle in any way, just because I'll tell you somebody did that a little while back, and if you fall off, nothing in that rope's gonna help, except to drag you behind or alongside, which are neither
Very good point.
good options.
Opto, did you add that to your character sheet?
I sure did.
I said Opto.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm looking for it. I can't find it in D&D Beyond.
So on your
Is there
character
anything-
sheet, the part that says action, spells, inventory, features, description, notes, and extras. Go to
E.
extras, manage extras, choose category vehicle, and then you'll see Tormentor the list.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool.
I don't know why that one's not working. So, I will say, for brevity's sake of how this battle's going to work, I have about 8 or 9 maps that we're going to switch through pretty quickly. And if there is a need to attack someone or something, I will try to set the cars back up. It's gonna be something. This whole thing is gonna.
I trust you.
I'm just saying, map wise, is gonna get hairy.
Lord.
So, yeah, the whole
What
thing
do
is
we
a
have on
fight.
our? Do we all have the same things on each car?
Wrecking ball on Sage's car, crushing wheels on Hugh's. As you approach, you drive these vehicles out of town, which catches the eye of many people in the 10th and 11th ring. But as you leave town and drive for probably about, I'd say 30 minutes or so, Shorty will explain. She says, the reason we have to wager so much on some of these is, and she kind of opens the hood to them. And you've never seen this before, Hugh, but there is a large battery that looks like it's running on the refined Myst. But it is like almost like a V6 engine, but just surging with like purple energy. And she says, these are not cheap. So if you don't win, I will be very upset.
Also, probably don't wreck the vehicle. Huh?
Well, you know, if I win, it will be paid for, really, in all manner of ways. It's just don't wreck the vehicle and not win. That would be sad.
Gotcha.
So as you approach, you see there is 5 other groups of individuals, as well as a very loud set of music coming from this large, basically, think any sort of... Speaking of music, can we get music? Coming from what looks like a large stage that has just been like set up here. And on the side of a large wall, it has plastered Dune, D-U-N-E, and that seems to be like the name of this raceway or whatever. And so, as you all approach, you see there's, like I said, 5 other groups. There's a group of orcs that seem like they probably aren't from Orathio to begin with, at least not from Orathio proper. There is a group of elves, including 1 drow, and everyone roll me a history check, please.
Is it Varys?
Yes, just Varys.
I know jack shit. I think it's Varys.
Okay, that's good to know.
You don't even know who Varys is.
I know
I do know.
Okay.
After I sent it into Roll20 as well, the Wrecking Ball attack, if you need it.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, I saw the wheels in there, but I didn't.
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
technically the Wrecking Ball's off a different ship or machine, but my bad. So 19 and a 20 and an 18. All 3 of you have seen this guy around school, actually. He belongs to a house, Udane, which is a house under the House of White, which is normally like a church-going house, so it's kind of peculiar. But you know that he's a junior at school, and he's never given y'all any grief about being outsiders or anything, but you do know that he's of noble blood, and that he's out here, and that is this individual right here.
That one?
Is he cute?
I mean... elves are all pretty much cute, I think. Yeah, he's probably cute.
Hold on, I'm gonna roll for cuteness.
Okay.
He's pretty cute.
Okay, that's good. There's a group of dwarfs that all seem like they're relatively middle-aged. There is 2 tiefling with a halfling individual that seem like they are like their coach is like covered in different markers, like they're being sponsored by quite a few different groups. They may be like the win, like the ones that are expected to win. That's this one back here.
Favorites.
And then
Is one of them Factor?
that's funny.
5 cars?
Yeah, 5 other cars.
That's funny.
And then the last group is a group of just different individuals. You see a goblin individual, a tiefling with dark blue skin, male, and what looks like a man made of stone, but as you like examine it closer, he's made of like fine, heavy pieces of metal. And
Interesting.
you all haven't experienced a Warforged before, but that is who this is. Or what this is, for that matter. The announcer comes on the stage, starts blaring music quite loudly, and says, "Welcome everyone to the June Raceway. You know what time it is. It's that time of the month, not the time that you're afraid of, everybody. The time for racing. The time for demolition. The time for pain and sorrow to befall all of the enemies of those who do not win. But with that, we'll begin in about 10 minutes. Everyone take your places down in the pit. Find your machines and make sure nobody's tampered with them."
Oh shoot.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna start getting the cockpit prepared, getting everything where I want it.
Okay,
Make sure
got
my
you. The
seats adjusted. You know, I got long legs.
the 2
so-
liters in the right place, just in case you have to pee on the way.
No.
We'll try to figure out how to add the wrecking ball to this tank.
No, you
that we're
don't. You don't have to add.
You
it,
probably
just-
won't be able
just
to.
follow
You're
the
probably
path.
just gonna have to look at this stat every time you want to use it. And like I said, it's only really a one use. Or
does the driver use it, or does
no, the third person, the person in
use
the back would be using it. So
it? Really, only Selene needs to know about it.
Sorry.
Asher is stockpiling a pile of pebbles into the vehicle for undisclosed reasons.
Okay.
that's good. That's insane.
I can respect it.
They're
Like
all,
you, like that's literally what you see. Everyone's getting
Yeah.
preparations. I'm on the ground. I'm just picking up pebbles and like getting a huge pile of them
okay.
into the car.
Selene, you see that there is a neat pile of rocks in the middle area of your car now.
It's the shape of a pyramid.
Is that gonna affect their speed at all?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Why would you do this?
The 2 pounds of rocks. It will
I
not.
have my reasons. And yeah, I'm not.
No, these are
piling
pebbles.
boulders
Yeah,
on
these
here.
are
It's
pebbles.
just a bunch of little rocks.
They won't do anything to the
It's
speed.
gonna be fine.
I will say that it would be very difficult. I will say that you're probably going to want to put these in your pockets just because this vehicle is not like totally enclosed in any way. And so one hard left, you'll lose like 18 rocks in a second, kind of a thing.
Well, okay, I guess I wasn't like piling them like in a neat pile. I was
got
more just
you.
like
Collecting them.
kind
I
of
got
shoveling
you.
them into the car, and then
Okay.
I'll kind of put them in my pockets. as
I
needed, yeah.
understand. I apologize. I was just imagining just the first hard turn. You're like, there go all my rocks. My cabbages.
He turns into Varys from the last.
It's not a boulder.
Last campaign.
It's a rock.
Okay, with that, can we get some music?
Is it not playing for you guys?
It is not playing for
Oh,
Me.
this is problem.
Oh,
This
it's
is
server
problem.
muted. There we go. I picked that. You're welcome.
me. Who are you, me?
Mate,
You're welcome.
you're welcome.
Does anyone want to make any investigation checks or anything like that
I'll
on?
make one, but I'm very
I do.
terrible about
I
it.
want to investigate the players that are next to us. in the
Okay,
starting line.
that's an insight roll, but I will allow it. Roll an insight.
I will I'll let Sherlock make the investigation roll.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
make sure
Can I
everything is
look
good to go.
around? Sorry,
Yeah.
I just interrupted like every.
No, it's okay. I rolled low.
I did not see anything.
Okay.
Well,
then I-
Molly only said they were helping you, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
is
I-
Molly free
well-
helping me investigate?
I was gonna do something else.
Oh, wait, what are you
but-
doing? No, just do what you were gonna do.
Can I look at the racetrack like in front of us instead of our actual car?
Yeah, I'll allow it. What are you looking for?
Any kind of traps, or not traps, I guess, any kind of trickery
Alright.
that somebody might have like maybe somebody put like nails on the ground or something
Yeah,
for tires.
very fair. Roll me a perception check then.
22.
Yeah, okay, so you see right up about, it's kind of hard to see from here. It looks like a bunch of rocks, but as you start to look them over, you see right through here, there is a large block of terrain that looks legit, but as you kind of peer to it, you think it might be either like a pitfall or even something you've like researched but don't have the ability to do yet as a druid. It could be hallucinatory terrain, just being that it's some sort of magic image that covers the ground. You don't know if this is trickery on someone's behalf or something that is part of the racetrack. But
Okay.
if it is part of the racetrack, that kind of gives you the idea you might want to look out for them elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let both of our parties know
Okay.
without letting anybody else hear me.
Okay, roll me a stealth check then.
Oh, good.
It won't be too complicated. The music's playing loud out here. Yeah, so basically you walk up to Sherlock and try to like whisper it to him. The music's too loud. You try again to whisper it to him. The music's too loud. And then you just basically scream it right between songs changing. And everybody kind of looks at you and they're like, thanks.
You know I can encode thoughts, right? But
I would
never
like
mind.
to-
Never mind.
I would like to try and cast detect magic as a ritual while we're like preparing.
Okay, ritual being 10 minutes, I think.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that'll take literally like the whole setup, but definitely available to do. So you grab your rocks and then immediately start casting detect magic. Are you looking for like what other people have right now, or is this more like to have magic eyes through the whole
Yeah, more
drive?
like to just kind of see the track as
Gotcha.
we go.
Makes
like,
sense. Definitely good. Selene, are you doing anything for setup?
I am manning the wrecking ball, am I not?
Well, yeah, but for setup, anything like you want to do ahead of time or anything like that? Because like I said, the wrecking ball has one use, maybe two if you're lucky, and the rest of that's going to be you just like fighting / trying to rig other people's cars to not work, etc.
Do I have my bow?
Yeah, if you want, weapons are not prohibited.
So I'll have my bow and arrows.
Okay.
I mean, I'm bringing my wrench.
You're driving!
Well, you never know. If we get put on the side of the road, I'm gonna bop someone in the head and take their car.
You're gonna use that wrench to fix our car.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have
Good
the
idea.
returning dagger?
I think so, yeah. Didn't I give
I
that?
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
paid a lot for it. I think it only returns like, I don't know, I'd have to remember what I gave you, but I think it has a limit, just remember that. Okay, with that,
Wait, hold on, I got something I want to
okay,
do real quick.
okay.
I have a whistle stick, and I would like to tie that to the exhaust, just so our vehicle just whistles a bunch when we're driving. And also, it's the way that the one grung above trained to communicate over long distance. So maybe something.
It's like the equivalent of putting a card in a bike stoke.
Yeah,
Do
just,
not crush my dreams.
okay, with that, we will begin. So the first thing I need is every driver is going to roll initiative.
Uh-oh.
I think the car has its own initiative,
Alright.
but check.
Yes, it does.
Maybe I should have drove.
Rolled it.
You used the car's
Free car
initiative.
initiative.
You used the car's
Oh, okay.
initiative, so your initiative would not have had any impact.
I got a 4.
Great, I love that for you. I love that for us. We're already in the back.
It's a team. It's a team thing. That just makes them easy to run over. We got the wheels for it.
Well, I was gonna suggest you run them into that square, but
Oh yeah.
no big deal.
maybe someone got a 1.
It's gonna be our other party member. How do you have a +2 on initiative?
Me?
It's
No,
the car does. It's not
Oh, the
him.
car does.
Everybody is rolling with a +2 right now. It's just
Oh.
luck based.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wait. Do I get to add my proficiency to this since I'm proficient? in
Yes, I will
rugby?
allow that.
Then it's another 3.
So
it's
7.
Only up to 7. Yeah.
climb.
Yeah, 7.
Ooh, nice.
I, for once,
gonna
did not wear No, actually,
Sage.
I lied. I'm gonna wear heels.
Oh God. 7, you said total?
Yes, for us.
Okay. And so, in basically how this is going to work, combat-wise, is there are going to be basically a round of combat. So you all can decide what to do on your car's initiative in whatever order you would like to. Meaning that the driver can move beforehand, or if you want to get in better positioning before the rest of you take attacks, it'll just depend on what you have decided to do. But that's how that will play.
Say that again? Sorry, my brain.
Basically, their initiative is going to mark all of your initiatives. Like, you are under whoever's car you're in, you're under that initiative count. So when it comes to that count, every person in a car is going to get a turn.
Gotcha.
Okay, so with that, the noise of the music dies down for a moment. There are 3 loud whistles that blow, and then the races begin. You watch as the dwarfs with their initiative first will... I need to pull this to a different window real quick. The dwarfs with their initiative will pull out ahead. Also, for sake of me not having to make 200 maps, each one of these blocks is 20 or 10 feet. No, 20 feet is better. So you can move 5 feet in a turn. Also, do not worry about diagonals this time. I'm not gonna get on people's case. 1, 2. Okay, you're gonna see that these dwarfs immediately. I need everyone's passives real quick, and I'll just write them down because I'll need them for the whole race.
15. Wait, did mine go up?
So what?
Passive perception. Sorry.
16!
17. I'm more perceptive than Molly
I
now.
hate that.
Gotcha.
How did you get 17? Because you just had 16 last time.
It's 12.
I have a lot of wisdom. I'm very wise.
I'm also very wise.
Everybody's proficiency went up, so everybody's stuff went up by 1 if they're proficient in it.
Oh.
Oh, maybe I'm more proficient?
No, you probably just have 1 higher stat than her, and both of your proficiencies went up at the same time.
I think it's because my constitution is higher than my wisdom because I'm a doofus and I don't actually
Play D&D. Yeah, that's fair. I'll just say it this way. No, constitution is very necessary. I'll just say it like this, and then you decide if you can see it or not. If you have a passive of 10 or higher, you watch as a large black pit of oil or some sort of slick substance starts to slide out of the back of this vehicle that the dwarves have just left in.
Dirty cheaters.
Which y'all aren't really in line for that bothering you. Also, everyone ignore this tree that's right at the beginning. There would not be a tree right at the beginning. That would be stupid. Like,
But we bulldozed
yeah,
it.
everybody tore it down in the 10-minute prep. There was just a quick chop session. But yeah.
I should have asked Shorty if she could make explosive arrows. That would be very helpful.
That would have been, yeah.
I didn't ask Shorty for shit.
So, with that is their first turn. They're up in front right now. Up next is these individuals. Oh crud, I did it again. I always forget to. These individuals are going to try to push past, meaning that these need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah.
10 will not do it. You watch as this car immediately gets like under one of the heavy wheels of this back car and takes a good amount of damage, and they're gonna roll. I need someone to roll me a d20 for them.
Ooh, I want to.
Hit it.
5.
You watch as their furnace starts to spit and sputter. The engine in the front is like the purple is starting to leak out, and you watch as their car, as it was beginning to rev up, the sound that these engines make starts to like putter and slow. Something seems to be malfunctioning in their engine. Also, for any of these mishaps, you can make a repair check the turn after it happens. Besides the one that flip-wise, the flip is kind of something you have to really deal with, but most of them can be repaired. So that's 5 for them. After them, these individuals will go, and they don't have really any option but to go through this oil slick. So they're going to make a saving throw as their car begins to spit and spur. 16. So they do succeed, and they actually just kind of bump into the back of these guys over here. Next is Sage. You are up.
All right. I guess we're gonna go forward as fast as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go for
Let's
it.
do it.
So
What did you say I needed to roll for that?
there is no roll for moving wise. You'll need to roll if someone tries to hit you or anything like that, but this is not that. So you have a speed of 100 in your car, so that'll be five blocks. You just want to go straight forward, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. So 50 will get you right in here. So we're gonna see. I need you to make a contested strength based off of the car to push these two people kind of out of the way. Just roll me a d20 plus 3.
There you go.
And you need to beat a 12.
Oof.
Did you do a plus 3? No. Okay. So that's a 9. So you these first guys push out of the way. They rolled an 8, but the second guys that you were trying to shove into don't move and just kind of find themselves. Oh, you all fell off and died. Find themselves. Find themselves
It's
here.
rewind time.
Yeah. So with that, now Asher and Selene, if you want to do anything with either your vehicle's actions or your own actions, you may do so.
So, are you gonna tell us when we see like these parcels and stuff like that?
Yeah, I will.
Or-
I will. Basically, every time we change a map, there will be a little area that is off map that I'm going to describe as having these parcels, and then you may make a competitive check if there's a lot of cars around, or if there's not a lot of cars, then you can just grab it as long as you roll well enough.
Got one on this first map.
No, it'll be in between
Right now.
each map. No, yeah.
All right.
So
Have
are
I
we-
detected anything magic so far?
Well, besides all the cars lighting up like crazy, because Myst itself is inherently magic, you see that this guy has the Warforged is kind of pulsing with magic inside. You also see that this where's it at? This guy under his coat has some sort of large spherical object that is magic, but you can't make it out. The magic type is evocation, though.
Uh-oh.
Those are the only two immediate magic items you see, or magic things. If you want to make me a perception check as an action to kind of really interrogate everyone with your eyes, I will give you some more information depending on your roll.
Sure. Let's do that. 13.
Okay, so like I said, sphere evocation on this guy. This guy seems to have some sort of divination stopwatch on him. You're not really sure what that does. And this guy up here is wearing a hat that has transmutation magic. You're not really sure that has anything to do with the race, but it's interesting. Other than that, this guy right here is holding a very large broadsword. He seems to be the defender of their car, and it is pulsing with magic. I said broadsword,
Alright.
That's not a thing. Greatsword, sorry.
Okay. And okay, that was my action, so I
Yes.
can't really do an attack or anything. But you said that these cars are kind of open, right? So I could see everybody, and if I were
Correct,
to use
yeah.
anything, I could openly target anybody on another
Yeah,
car.
nobody except for the driver has any cover. The driver has what I would call a half cover as they are sitting in a seat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I've already used my action, so you just see me look towards grab my pile of rocks out of my pocket. And I was and I'll be like, well, while you were all at the club, I was honing some new skills, and you just see 3 rocks start glowing magically and floating floating above my hand. But I'm just preparing.
Okay.
Fancy.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. What spell is it?
That is my new cantrip, Magic Stone.
Oh.
I'll learn how to make some magic rocks.
Bears
Ah!
would love that.
Okay, with that, it is now these guys' turn. It's kind of clogged. They're gonna actually take like a... Oh wait, Selene, did you want to do anything?
Yes. But how far away are we from everybody else?
I mean, we're surrounded by 3 other cars.
So, like I said, these are about 20-foot blocks, so I'd say there's maybe like a 5-foot gap between you and the one in the front of you, a 5-foot gap between the one in the left, because you just touched both of those shoving in there, and the one on the right's more like 10 feet away or so.
Okay, I'm going to aim at the wheels of the car, I guess, on our right.
Okay, I should clarify, just for like sake of called shots. A, called shots have an increased AC, which is not a bad thing, just to warn you. B, these wheels, however made of rubber, think of it more like a tractor wheel than a car wheel. So you may, if on a good hit, like pop a tire, but it's not like it's just gonna be a shoot the tire kind of situation on all of them, if that makes sense.
Pop that tire. You know you wanna.
Up that
So what
tire,
would be a
please.
vulnerable point? I guess trying to shoot the actual...
The whole point of these is there's not like a vulnerable point, because I guess what I'm saying is the fun would be taken out of this if literally everyone could just pull guns out and shoot each other's tires.
That's fun.
So, and at this point, I will say you're all moving at whatever 100 feet per 6 seconds is. So remember that if anyone gets in an accident, it will be a painful. But no, like I said, you can shoot tires. I'm just saying to specify, they aren't just like car tires. They're large tires that probably are made of a much denser rubber.
And you might kill somebody.
Well, that's fine. The killing part's not anything that's restricted out here.
We got healing. Nobody's gonna die today.
Okay,
Excuse me, who has
so-
healing?
I don't.
Not me. I just can't wait till Hugh rages and starts teleporting out of the car.
Actually, you know
I'm gonna
what?
have to take over the wheel.
Who's the driver of this one?
Which one?
The one to my right. I don't know why I can't click on
You gotta
it.
hold your button. That is, basically everyone is in a position of the driver on top, the second man on bottom, and the third person on bottom left.
Well,
So,
I'm going to shoot the driver with magic missile.
okay. That does not have any sort of ability to be blocked, so
That's just damage.
it is just damage.
baby.
One
I
more.
started Hugh's D20, by the way.
Oh,
I like it so far.
3. Wait, is that already adding the +1? It is. Oof.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Oof.
2, 3, 3. So that is 8.
I mean,
Cool.
it's 1d4.
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
got you. I just couldn't remember if that was adding the +1. Alright, cool. So you watch as this guy gets 3 magic missiles fly, and the announcer goes, "Oh, the fight's already started. Someone's shooting spells and slinging hell." And with that, that's the end of your turn. Whose turn is it? Oh, it's their turn. Interesting.
Aw.
Vindictive. Let's see. The driver will, well, it's just going to drive forward. But the driver's going to try to avoid the oil by shoving into both of your cars and the one in front of you. So I need you to make an athletics check based off the car's strength.
Who?
That'll be the driver.
of the Selene car, so that's Sage, right?
Yeah, Sage.
Wait, what?
I
Yeah,
need...
but-
Who needs the method?
I'm sorry.
What was
I think you're,
what was
I think
the
you're
saving
muted
throw?
if you're trying to talk. Oh, no.
It's
never
an
mind.
athletics check for the car.
There you go.
No, I was just thinking that.
Did you make it?
Music.
Woo! Yeah, so as they try to shove into you, no luck, and they will still try to push past the next person. They crit on the next person, so you watch as this car tries to push into you, doesn't get by, but pushes into this guy, and he is kind of turned a bit off kilter and pushed over here.
You're using the rotation. I like that.
What I do.
Okay, interesting. I have some ideas.
This can't be
Okay,
good.
I'm ready for it.
Oh my god.
I'm
Mostly
here.
just drive my car into other cars.
I'm casually giving Hugh a massage. Keep him calm.
You got it. You got it. Okay.
No,
With
just kidding. Just kidding. But
that's the
I don't want that
driver's.
to be my turn.
That's the driver's turn. This guy, you watch as in a moment's notice, he kind of vanishes from your eyesight, and you watch him appear. Anybody with a passive of 14 or higher can see him appear on the dwarf's car, and he starts like just beating shit up. Like
Oh my god.
he has misty stepped to this car over here, and he is starting to pummel people. Y'all are starting to realize as you look around, like a lot of nobles are here. Like it's weird that this happens far outside of town, but there are this many people with magic. Like there's not a good explanation to it, except for that nobles are greedy and like to bet. With that, that's the end of their turn. This guy's going to move up here and take a ready to action. Hugh, you're up.
Yes. Okay, I have 100 feet.
Yes.
That's 5 squares.
Correct.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this tree here?
No.
No.
Right.
No, yeah, none
This
of those.
round tree?
No, none of those trees would be. Not any of the opening ones. I would say the edge ones definitely are, but this one in the middle of the track doesn't make any sense. Neither does that one.
3, 4, 5. All right, I think I want to go here.
Okay, I'll allow it.
All right, and if that means that I have to push this guy over, that's fine.
Oh, just driving straight
Yeah,
forward
fine.
through him. Okay, make me an athletics check with the car's stats. Or if you
Yes.
want to use your crushing wheels, you may.
Ooh.
The crushing wheels aren't singular use, but they do have a chance of like falling off after a certain damage threshold has been.
Oh, I don't like that.
Let's do this then.
Well, the crushing wheels are just like the spikes that are on the wheels. They're not the wheels would fall off. It's just like the
They need to
spikes would
make
get
a-
dull.
DC 13 dexterity save or take 17 damage. Okay,
Ugh.
that's fine. Vomit noise.
I rolled the wrong one. My apologies. No, that
Oh, you
was
did?
yeah. I rolled the wrong one.
Phew.
They do not have a plus to that.
Yeah. You guys don't have
That's gonna be. You say 13 was the DC?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a 12. So
Oh, okay. Alright.
so they take what?
They'll take 17 bludgeoning damage.
Why does
From
it roll the
crushing
bludgeoning
wheel.
differently? 11
Let's see if there's anything
takes
else.
an extra. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So 17. Well, what happens first is I need. Let's get Asher. Roll me a d20 for their malfunction.
Oh yeah.
I need
3.
3. Uh-oh. You watch as the guy that is driving this vehicle looks at his steering wheel and it won't move. It's locked. The wheel is like caught, the axle's been bent. And one of the guys, like the middle guy who was like ready to like swing at someone with his broadsword if they walked onto his vessel, like heads underneath like the ship to try to figure out what's going on. Right now their steering is locked.
They can't move.
Well, technically they can move in a straight line, but that is all, and there are turns to this race, so...
They're gonna fall.
they are
in the
next.
hole.
So who is in
The one towards the most towards the bottom is the one that's got the lock steering wheel, or the one.
No, this one right here. The one that y'all are right next to. So with
Nice.
that, it is their turn, and he's gonna go below and try to make the athletics check to unlock it. Oh, sorry, Molly. What do you want to do? I apologize.
Say, did Sherlock do it?
No, neither of you did. I'm a bad person.
Whoa! Wow.
You can go first if you want to, because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
Oh, actually, I was gonna be like, hey, you wanna go? Actually,
60 feet.
I haven't even begun to road rage.
60 feet.
Instead of going into a rage, he goes into a road rage. I like that.
I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Where at? I have a guess.
Ooh. Okay, so it's a 20-foot diameter.
Yeah, it's freaking huge. Let me do that for you. Oh, well, it's not too super huge out here. Remember, these are 20-foot squares, so it would be more like this, but it's still pretty large.
Okay, I want it over. Yeah, I want it here.
Put on top of this mess. Okay.
Yeah, I want to top on that mess. Let me go ahead and. I never cleared my spell slots from the last.
Well, now I gotta
game.
figure out what I want to do.
Sorry, I ruined your
I was gonna
stuff.
do something similar. No, it's okay.
Do I need a roll for any of that?
No, that's just a roll you can make. You just will have to make con saves if y'all take any damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. It lasts for the duration or until a wind of moderate or greater speed at least 10 miles per hour disperses it.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have to actually, like, cast it, or
Correct. Well, you cast it, like cast the spell, use your spell slot, but it does not have
but I
a to
don't need
hit
to do
or
anything.
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is concentration.
So it is
Correct.
concentration.
Okay, Sherlock, what are you doing?
I am actually not gonna take. Well, I'm not gonna attack or anything. Can I kind of observe, you know, the cards behind us?
Yeah. This one is still locked up currently. This one is your friends. And those are the only two that
the
are
one that-
technically behind
okay.
you. Yeah.
Nah, they're not our
okay.
friends.
Now, I will say that this over here is a grease trap, and you would know just from the knowledge of the spell grease that that is highly flammable if you had any intentions of, I don't know, easy bake ovening that team for some reason.
Burn them alive.
But I wanted to make a fog cloud
Have
instead.
instant fire.
Got you. Okay. Alright, with that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit back with this round.
Okay, so with that, these guys are going to go below, try to unlock their wheel. That's going to be their whole turn. Nope, they crit fail. Wheel's not unlocked. This guy is going to make... The guy, only one person can do that. So this guy is going to make an athletics check and try to jump over to your moving vehicle, Hugh.
What? Okay, what am I rolling here? Do I
Nothing.
roll
It's just
anything?
going to be an athletics check to see if this guy doesn't eat absolute dirt. Oh, he's actually okay. So he takes a running jump, and Hugh, about 10 feet behind you in this vehicle, you hear a loud thud. And Sherlock, there is now a man wielding a large greatsword that is on your vessel. But their vessel is not
That dude
moving.
just jumped 40 feet.
That dude just jumped 20 feet with a running start. Yes.
Do we get any sort of opportunity attack on that?
No, because he's just entering.
Okay.
So with that,
What room does he have to run on his vehicle? to jump
well,
off?
technically they are 20-foot long vehicles.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, technically the area / let me actually give you the stats. It is a 3,000-pound huge vehicle, so technically they should be 3 squares, and I'm just not doing that. So it should be 3 by 3. So yeah, he had plenty of room to jump or run.
Alright.
And technically they each can hold 4 creatures. I would say any more than that would start being a problem. So with that, that was his turn. He had to use his dash action to get over there, so he cannot attack. After that guy, the dwarfs are going to just continue to drive straight, I suppose, because the fog cloud. I don't think that would stop their momentum. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make them make a dexterity save because they have not seen this, but only like 1 tire is going into it at this point. So, with a 14, you watch as they get a little hiccup as the terrain there, as Molly noticed, is just not real, and one of their tires just sinks into the ground. With that, I'm going to make them all make dexterity saving throws. Wow. Everyone but the driver. This guy falls off into this pit here.
Uh-oh.
This guy lands on the ground here, and the guy that was with them goes flying over in this direction. So that car technically only has a driver right now because of that pit, and he barely pulled out of it. And I was going to give him a notice check at the beginning of his turn, but there was a fog cloud all around him, so he couldn't really try to notice it. So with that, that's their turn. This guy is going to try to redirect and get back on, and I think he's going to be the first one to use one of his abilities. He's going to use the chomper that is on the front of his vehicle at the back of this elven vehicle. And that is going to be a 23 to hit. Will hit.
Demon grinder?
Did you say this guy is chomping this
Yes,
guy?
yeah, the one that the guy that got pushed around is now chomping this guy, the elven car. And will deal 22 damage to the elven car. Will you roll me, Sherlock, a d20 for their mishap?
Sure will. A 12.
A 12. You see as a even larger, more blinding smoke heavily obscures. That's hilarious. There's just a second fog cloud basically coming from this vehicle.
Good thing we're going
So
around
much
it.
fog.
There is so much fog out here right now, so
Nobody knows what's happening.
it's centered on that one. So yeah, now there's even more. These guys are going to keep driving
Right in the middle.
forward, and they will get about there by the end of their turn. But this vehicle, you see, along with that smoke, there's a large amount of like damage done to the vehicle. I would say that since these are all the same like make and model, technically, you know that they have about 60 hit points total with a damage threshold of 10, and so that was like a third of this car's health. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and up the movement so we move through maps because this is slower than I had expected. So I'm gonna say we can all move 10, just for the sake of, now that it's a new round, just for the sake of getting places. So with that, it is. Who's next? Oh, these guys that are over in the oil slick can't see a thing.
Oof. You're gonna be stuck there for a minute.
I mean, that was the point, sure.
They're gonna try to keep driving, but there's a dex save for that. Oh, they crit. So yeah, they blow through, and I will say that the force of their car sliding through the oil and then blowing through kind of disfigures the fog cloud a little bit. But not enough to like blow it away or anything like the spell says. They do notice the pit, and they're going to just flat run over this dude.
Oh, I wanted to do that.
I'm sure there's plenty of other people we can
There
run
are
over
plenty.
here.
So
okay.
there's a flat dude here now. He doesn't look dead. He doesn't look happy though. And that's their 10 there.
3D to 2D.
He is out of this race.
Yeah, he needs to be pulled off by paramedics.
Medic.
After that, it is this guy. You watch as a fiery red orb is pulled from his cloak, and you notice it to be this evocation orb, and he lays it on the, or not lays it on the ground so much as tosses it on the ground, and it starts to blink right here. It starts to blink pretty rapidly. You're not really sure what it's gonna do. You can take guesses on your own behalf. But it is some sort of landmine or explosive, it seems. With that, it is this other. She will Eldritch Blast the Warforged on the car ahead, who is readying or who is trying to repair their chomping teeth. She misses because she's bad at the game.
Me.
Fair. Sage, you are up.
Before we start driving, so like, are all of these cars that have kind of moved forward, are they like semi out of commission right now? I mean, I know they haven't taken the full damage, but I mean, like, they've all sort of like hit things and like are sort of like struggling right now.
This guy isn't.
They had to mark over them or something.
This guy isn't damaged at all. It's just that there's only one guy running his whole car now. Yeah, his car is fine. This car got pushed but not damaged at all. This car got shoved and dealt about not enough damage to break threshold. This car is not looking good at all. It got chomped on and all that stuff. But right now, this is the only majorly damaged vehicle. That one and this one, which cannot move because someone locked its wheels.
Okay, so they're locked up. Yeah, I was basically trying to see like who was not just damaged, but who was the most like handicapped or non-handicapped right now.
Yeah, I would argue that this car is the most handicapped, followed by this car, just because one person on this racetrack is probably going to be a dead man soon.
Is this the one that's locked?
No, the one back here is locked.
This one, okay.
So, Sage, what are you doing? Or is anybody else wanting to do something first before?
That's what I was trying to point out, but yeah, Sage, go ahead and move us where you would like to move us, and then I'll make my call from there.
Can I get within 60 feet of not the ones in the smoke, but the ones in front, and still be able to cast a spell? Or would that count as my act?
Yeah, so the issue is, as you being the driver, you make a lot of the saving throws, the attacks and stuff, but you're not going to be able to use very many spells, because you would be able to like give inspiration as bonus actions, but driving or helming is your action, as listed on
Gotcha. I was gonna use Phantasmal Force. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, let's just get as close as we can to that.
Okay.
That next vehicle up.
And also, is this secondary fog cloud like that one is not from a spell, so it's not like as obscuring as the original fog cloud, right?
It actually just says this produces a fog cloud like.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's.
I didn't know that was like okay.
No,
gotcha.
yeah, that's why I laugh so hard. This dude is quite literally in a Venn diagram of fog clouds.
Fog cloud.
So, yeah. So with that, I would say, with that, I want you to make me a perception check, Asher, as to whether you even see the fire orb. And as to whether you have like the know-how to warn. Okay, yeah. So you definitely see it with the detect magic, especially. You see this glowing magic is no longer like moving at high speed; that is laying on the ground. And with that, I want you to make me a dexterity, the car's dexterity check, as you try to weave around this 5, 10, 15, 20. So as you get about halfway through your movement. It's going to be whether you kind of tip this.
Obviously, I pointed it out,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like,
so it's more
hey,
about.
Avoid that.
Yeah.
All right.
My normal rolls are fine. The car does not like me.
Got
I
you.
should not have driven.
the car does not veer very well. So you barely catch it, but you do catch it. And you notice as one of 3 fiery red orbs from inside of this disc that sits on the ground erupts upward, and there is a large ball of fire that kind of catches the bottom of your ship. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw for the ship one more time.
Oh yeah.
I keep calling it a ship.
You know
Go
what?
back and forth between ship and car.
I don't like saying
Oh,
car.
geez.
Doesn't make sense.
Did
You got a cool
Selene and
car.
Asher get left behind?
Oh yeah, they died.
Oh, okay.
We're
I knew
done
I
now.
missed something.
But like I told you not to hit that.
As you feel a loud shudder from underneath the car, and the car takes just enough to make you take 13 points of fire damage. Which I know it says it's damage immune to fire, but that's because these are from a hell book, so don't pay any attention to that. That's not true.
I'm paying attention to it.
Don't. So I need Selene. Would you roll me a d20 for what mishap your car has?
The 13 is so far just car damage, right? Not us damage.
Yeah, most of the d20s are just car damage.
So I'm saying that 13 that you said, the fire damage, that's just for the car.
Correct, yeah, because it was on the other side, you technically all have full cover. If it had, like, gone off to the side, it would have hit everybody, but no. So with that, your vehicle's damage threshold is reduced by 10 until this mishap ends. Anyone who wants to can make a DC 15 strength check to repair the shredded armor off the side of the vehicle. So
that would be an action on our turn,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Which is now your turn as he is moved.
Okay. So sorry, one more time then. So we're right here.
Yes.
This car has not taken any damage.
Not really, no. No, well,
but
I thought they got chomped.
No, they did not get chomped. They chomped this car back here. They were the ones that were in the oil slick.
Okay.
But that didn't really deal them damage as much as it did slow them down for a minute.
And then, is there anything wrong with this one right now?
That one got hit pretty hard in the side and took about 7 points of damage.
Okay. I basically like, Sage, let me try and clear out some of the obstacles here, and I cast Shatter.
Oh my!
Right in the middle of that, vehicle.
In the middle of the one specifically in front of you.
Yeah, like one right in front of us because I haven't taken any damage yet.
So a con save on the vehicle then, right?
Con save, but also I use my channel divinity to give them max thunder damage.
And it's doubled because it's not a because it's a structure, right?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask that too. The vehicles are technically not magical.
No, they're
objects,
not.
Right?
They're structures.
Okay, so the vehicle and the characters take damage.
So it passes the con save because they have a +5 to con saves in these vehicles. But what is max damage doubled?
Max damage doubled.
Yeah.
It's 3d8, which is what, 24?
24, so 48. Yeah. So this car. Okay, I need you to roll me 2d20 for mishaps that happen in this moment.
There's 1.
6.
And there's 2. 6 and 3.
3. Okay, so with a 3, their steering wheel also gets locked. Like, pretty bad. But with a 6, you watch as this car had a large, like a wrecking ball on the back that they were all kind of like staring at you, just waiting for you to get close. And you watch as the chain between the wrecking ball and the crane just cracks, and the wrecking ball like falls off to the side. Actually, you watch as this guy disappears behind a wrecking ball. But yeah, with that, they are. I'm just gonna delete them. They have 2 HP left, so.
Nice.
Hey.
I'm just kind of like, I look over to Selene and I'm like, well, all right, I suppose I can get into the racing thing.
I thought you were gonna go, well, all right.
How could you?
Okay, with that, that is Selene. What do you want to do?
I do declare.
To declare.
Let's see. Can I shoot at the tires of the person in front of us?
Yeah, you certainly can.
And anybody?
Hey.
Okay, 19, 6 points of piercing damage. So with that, it does not surpass their damage threshold. You watch as the arrow kind of plinks off the side.
Wait, so it doesn't do anything?
Correct, that's how damage thresholds work.
Bomb.
So with that, no one fixed y'all's, so y'all still have shredded armor, just remember. Next is these guys are going to come out of here not noticing this at all because they've been in a double smoke cloud the whole time, and you watch as 2 different red small bursts go off underneath it. 2 dexterity saving throws. Fail and success.
We're gonna like clear this map before we get to the next.
I was thinking about that. I honestly don't have a problem with that. This is fun. I'm having fun. So if that happens, that's great. I did prepare a few maps that make it kind of look like a racetrack, but that's totally fine. Technically, this isn't you clearing it. The guys you just blew up are the ones who placed this trap, but
The way you said that just made me think Mag's really upset.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun. No, I wanted this to basically go like this. This is based off, and I think the only one who's going to know this is Pajama, but this is based off of a very loose mission from Taz. So.
I was gonna ask if you were just trying to do that arc.
Oh, really? I got big Johnny Spell vibes, but okay.
Oh
they
yeah,
get
that's
two
fair
jumps.
too. I didn't even think about them. No, there's a
Yeah.
there's a mission that Taz goes on where they literally have like 3-man cars. Technically, I wasn't gonna do 3-man. I was gonna do 1 6-man, but that seemed insane, so I didn't.
Johnny Spells was more of a car chase, but like this,
Yeah.
there's like specifically like a battle car like sequence. So like,
I will say in my defense, I did not write this idea. At least this 100% came from M's backstory, and she just gave me the possibility of doing this. So.
fair.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, but with those
She
two
was a bike
saves.
racer.
Yeah, but this is just opened the door. Hugh, roll me 2d20 for this poor person who just got double
Of course
blasted.
I will.
Oh, you know, those backstories that
Everyone
I
wrote.
don't have.
Yeah,
I'll write a better one. What's up?
someday.
6 and a 4.
6 and
I
a
know.
4. 6 and a 4. 6.
Just kidding, I'm busy.
Oh, re-roll one of those for me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know what what happened with this one. Their speed was reduced by 30. That's what happened. They did get hit, so they're actually back here. 13. Okay, so one of these smoke clouds is still following them. And their axle is damaged. So, yeah, their vehicle grinds and shakes uncontrollably and pulls to a stop right here. And they do not look very, very healthy at this point. With that, it is... Hugh, you're up. For anybody who
Yes.
wants to...
Okay.
I'm gonna
Does
let Hugh
anybody
do
wanna
his thing first.
Oh, okay. You want me to go first? That's
Yeah, because sometimes I trust you and sometimes I'm like,
Alright, well, I don't want to run our friends over in front of us. That's
that's a good idea.
Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is go 1,
I will say that
2,
tree is there.
3. This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that I don't think these cars would be that upset
That
by
is
running
true.
into a tree. However,
There is blood in the water. Maybe we go this way.
This one.
Alright. Let's go 1, 2,
okay.
3,
Okay.
4,
Yes.
Why are we going in the fog cloud?
5,
Okay.
6. Wait, no.
Oh no.
Might I remind you,
How's that
Hugh,
sound?
That works.
there's a deep pit towards where you are headed.
That works for me.
We're gonna get a little loose with it.
Roll
you
me
know?
your crushing wheels again as you
Okay.
obliterate these poor souls.
Okay. DC 13 dexterity save from the vehicle,
I'm gonna
please.
draw a flub.
Flump.
Inside his die. I think that's a cute idea.
Yep.
11.
Failure. He takes 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Takes.
Jesus
He
Christ.
takes. Go see Jesus. Points of damage. You watch as their car blasts off like Team Rocket on a bad evening.
Jesus Christ.
Woo!
Oh, I have a really stupid thing to do.
Okay, I
Take
will.
this guy on the
I
back
will
of our
remember
car.
there is a guy on the back of your car.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I
gonna.
take care of him?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first, and then we'll see how that goes, and then I'll go. Because you might stop me from doing a really stupid
Are
thing.
you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you sure you don't want to do your stupid thing?
I still can probably do my stupid thing, so.
Okay, this dude is gonna probably
Ah.
tear some shit up if he stays on here any longer.
Yeah.
So I am gonna pull out a 3rd level here. And I'm gonna cast Catnap on him.
Okay,
It's a spell?
I'm gonna.
See if I can get him to fall asleep.
I'm gonna just make you recall that this spell is for willing creatures, so they can take
Yeah.
a short rest quicker.
Oh, okay.
Beforehand, you roll persuasion, like, "Hey, man, aren't you tired?"
Wait. Oh,
What are your cantrips? Can you thunderclap
do
them
it?
off the side?
do you want to do a cheaty thing and can I like go first then?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to use charm person on this guy.
Nice.
Okay.
Are you gonna flirt with him?
Wisdom save.
Yes.
11.
Does not pass, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be a 14.
Okay.
So it does not pass. And then
Charm the pants off.
he's my friendly acquaintance now.
Yep.
Okay.
Sherlock, I think this guy could use a nap.
Right. Can we do that, Mr. Overlord DM guy?
I'm
that
reading
too cheaty?
catnap real quick. You make a calming gesture up to 3 creatures willing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck all that you can see within range fall unconscious. Fuck all.
No, it's
Spell
fine.
ends on a takes damage.
He's like, where can I find?
fucking
Where's the loophole? Where's
stupid.
Chad,
the
do you
loophole?
think that
dumb.
they should be able to put him to sleep?
Dumb shit.
Yeah, chat.
Oh, by the way, let me just talk about catnap for a second as a spell. A, I would
Sounds
take
like
it.
Mag's gonna take a cat
Yeah,
nap.
that's what I was about to say. If I could force myself, I'm a willing creature. Put me to sleep.
Yeah.
I wish. I sit alone. I sit awake at night. Garbage. Secondly, yes, this will work because he's a willing creature, because he has friends, and via the rules of charm person, he won't do anything that would hurt him, like directly. But I don't see how he would think that falling asleep would hurt him.
He'd be like, "Yeah, I guess I am pretty tired."
Yeah, so he kind of yawns and takes a big old sleep, and he lays
There's
down.
3 of us here. His car is busted, so
Then I immediately start looking for something to ramp.
I was gonna say I don't even think it would take that. He's like at the back of
I
the
was
car,
saying,
so he could
He's at
just
the back of our car.
if you
Just hit a big pump.
that or just push him off while he's asleep next turn. Okay, with that,
extra and do it with my mage hand. Just kidding.
okay, with
I bonus action push him.
10 pounds.
with that,
Just kidding. I'm joking.
with that, they do get their axle fixed, and they will begin to speed ahead. But they're gonna
need to
try
look
to
up a
come
reference
get their
about
guy. 25. That's as far as they can. No, they can push through. Make an athletics check, Sage, and this other car will as well.
They can have him back. He's napping. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can have him back. He's my friend now, so
He's not-
even if he wakes up, he's still my friend.
Okay, yeah, Sage.
17.
He tries to push you ajar into that tree, but your car holds strong. This other car, however, is now even like riskily closer to falling in this pit. And with that, they are going to use their chompers on your car, Hugh. So let me read
What do I-
that
what
one.
do I
I've
do?
got to find it. Apologies.
Wait, the car that's about to fall into the pit is trying to reach us?
No,
Is
the
that
car
how long
that's
the reach is?
no, the car that's behind you that just pulled up
Oh,
behind
okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've been trying to reach you about your car.
Yeah, they say, hello. Have you thought about getting Geico?
I have Geico.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Please forgive
I
me.
like Geico.
Actually, they're not
And
using their jaws, they're using raking scythes. So I need you to...
Dexterity throw.
Yes, yeah.
All right. As a reaction,
Okay.
I can, if the tormentor is able to move, the driver can use its reaction to grant the tormentor advantage on a dexterity saving throw.
Correct.
Is that in play here? All right, we're doing it.
I think I made a wrong decision getting on
Look at
Hugh's
you.
bike.
What a day to be alive. All right, 14.
14 just passes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you will only take half of this.
Oh.
You will take 11 damage, so I do need Asher roll me a d20 for them.
And that's our first bit of damage.
14.
Yeah, that's y'all's
Right.
first bit.
Oh, yeah.
14. Your armor is also shredded, so your threshold is now 0, technically speaking.
And I apologize. How much damage was that
14
again?
total.
14?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So one of us needs to fix it.
Yeah,
3?
if you want to. I will say with that juke, I want you to make me a dexterity check, and if you get above 15 with the car's dexterity, this dude's gonna go flying.
Yes.
He's already asleep, though.
Well, yes, but that means he can't hold on to anything.
I guess you're right.
Alright.
You're right, Dungeon Master God person.
Away.
Always.
That's all right. We didn't do it. The car did.
So close.
14.
So close. No.
Okay.
Yeah, he bumps a little bit, but he don't go swinging. After
He's
that,
closer to the edge now, though.
after that, they already used their attack. So now it is the dwarf's turn, and I will move us all to the next map.
Power up time, right?
Yes, I need anybody that's in the second position that wants to attempt a power up. Can.
I will. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt with Thorn Whip.
Okay.
And this is where Asher's little magic rocks come into play.
Okay.
And he flings a little magic pebble towards the parcel.
Okay. Roll me a to hit, the both of you.
I crit.
You crit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Nice.
Okay.
I have
roll
not
me
rolled
roll me 2d6, Molly, as you hit through 2 of them. Oh, the die
crit
give and they
failed.
take away.
The twins at it again. 5 and a 6 equal 11.
2 plus 2. Sorry. No, I just need a 5 and a 6. So you got a 5 and a 6. So the first thing that falls from the first box is what looks like a large harpoon gun.
Wow.
It has 1 harpoon with it, and the second one is some sort of like what looks like an oversized band-aid that you assume is for like patching up your car.
Awesome. We need that.
Aww.
And then I will move everyone to the new map. Oh, y'all are on the new map.
I guess we can't use those until our turn.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Molly just puts it on herself. She's like, "Do I look cute?"
It's like a big dress. I just like wrap it around.
So this next map, you will notice as the road like ends, and you come through this very hilly area filled with trees, and the guy just starts mowing down trees in front of him. Being in first here is not great because the trees are falling, but he's taking damage for each one that does. Gets through 3, and none of them rolled more than threshold damage, so he actually made it out of that really well.
He's sucks. Sucks.
Lame.
Okay, with that, that's the
We
end
yell
of...
from our car, you suck!
These guys are going to break into a whole new path because they don't want to be fighting with everybody anymore. So they're just gonna like bust way down here and kind of look for an opening.
I also yelled to that car.
Fell off in the butt.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Coward.
It's...
They do hit threshold damage as they push through a few trees. Can I get a d20 from Molly for what damage they can do?
16.
16. Their armor is shredded as well. Y'all are rolling a lot of shredding armor. With that,
Tough in these trees.
yeah. With that, Sage, you are up. You are currently in last place.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna use our wrecking ball vehicle.
I want to remind everybody that it's also about surviving
Well,
till the end.
the wrecking ball is something your third person does.
Okay. Oops. All right. Well,
You can communicate with her to use it.
Yeah, you can also put yourself in a much better
You don't have
space.
to move her.
Selene, can you use the wrecking ball?
On it.
Alright, so you're targeting the guys in front of you, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and since I communicated that. Does that mean since I'm not doing movement, I could potentially do a spell?
Are you not going to move the car at all this turn?
I mean, No, I am. Okay. I'm tracking. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You got two options, really. You can either follow this guy's path in front of you, you can follow this southern path that this guy's made, or you can just barrel through trees yourself.
But we're gonna follow the southern guy.
Okay.
We're gonna take out the car in front of us first.
Okay, so as you drive by, go ahead and roll that check, Selene, to wrecking ball these dudes.
What do I roll?
The whole little stat block was shared in chat a minute ago. Let me find
Here,
it.
I can. One momento. Copy. Paste.
I'm making the cutest flump for you.
So you hit roll +9 to hit.
So D20.
D20 plus 9.
19 hits. Or, well, 19 hits by itself.
Plus
So 28
9.
hits. So you'll roll 8d8 damage.
+4.
Ooh.
Plus 4, yeah.
D8, nice.
Double the damage if the
Yeah, I know
target
what
is
it
an
says.
object or okay.
That's the whole reason these are only usable
And
once.
here's 3.
I'm having fun.
So 35,
Plus
12,
4.
35 doubled is, or 39 doubled. Yeah, so this vehicle is exploding no mo. It blows up. But like I said, your wrecking ball is also now gone. It kind of blows up when the guy blows up. Yeah, it did do 80 damage. My life is a hell.
Guys, do you remember when Mag said he was having fun?
I'm still having fun. This is great. I'm invigorated. Everyone subscribe to the channel and make this worth it to me.
Just clip every time Mag says
I'm having fun. Yeah, we need a counter for the Mag is having fun counter.
I'm having fun.
I know, I promise I'm having fun. Yeah, this is fun. No, nothing's more fun than Molly's BS. Alright, so you close in with these guys, but they moved 100, so you're still right behind them. Is there anything you want to do, Asher, to these fellows in front of you?
Okay, so from my perception earlier, remind me again what I saw. Did I see anything?
No, these guys do not have any magical items, it does not seem.
Okay, just we have the Warforged guy and then what, two?
Oh,
two
yeah, well,
things you said?
technically the Warforged guy is made of magic, but that's just kind of how you would assume
Right, no,
a,
I'm just clarifying like who we have
Yeah,
on
two
the car,
tieflings and a Warforged, correct.
Alright, I'm going to
Just interject here real quick. I'm so sorry. I have forgotten all game and
You
Your mic cut
completely cut out there. You've forgotten all game what?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten all game. I want to cast Bardic Inspiration on Hugh.
Okay. Well, on Hugh, he cannot hear you. You would have to do it on someone on your ship.
That's okay.
Okay,
It's,
well, for the,
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
feel like Asher.
To
Yeah.
Asher before he does whatever he's gonna do.
Yeah, it seems unfair though, because I feel like I know it's Asher's turn now. I'll give it to Selene.
No, I mean you have a bonus action on your turn which you haven't used. So
But yeah, and
mean,
you're
we-
all, y'all are orchestrating. I said y'all are all under the same turn tracker, so y'all are all orchestrating together. I think it makes sense that you can.
I was about to say, I just literally like,
Yeah, they just
Cheated,
wombo.
essentially,
They
too.
just wombo comboed my dude in the other car. So
You consider yourself inspired, brother?
I am very inspired. So this what is it, the
Oh,
mote
Lord.
potential or whatever?
yeah, you have a
starts floating
mode of
around me?
potential flying around you.
And then what is it's a D what?
I think he's a D8 currently.
And I can add that to an attack roll.
Attack roll, saving throw, or ability check.
Okay.
Or
Well, I'm gonna
go ahead.
What?
Well, he can do it. I'm gonna have to find it again to be sure, but I'm almost certain his can also afflict to like healing something, which is gnarly to me.
Not to damage.
No.
I don't know if I have that yet. Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
okay.
I'll read it for you quick. It's right here. It
it's
adds.
so cute.
Where's the moat? The
Sorry.
moat.
I broke myself.
You broke?
Yeah, I gotta show you why I
adds
broke.
to ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Yeah, that's all I see too.
Yeah, the healing thing. I don't think I can do that until 6th level.
Okay.
Oh, but it does some extra stuff like attack roll. If you add it to an attack roll, the target has to succeed on a con saving throw. against your spell save DC. Does that sound right? Is that something that your thing says?
Immediately after the creature rolls the bardic inspiration die to add it to an attack roll against the target, the moat thunderously shatters. The target and each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC, or take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the bardic inspiration die. Oh wow, okay.
So that's pretty sweet.
That is really sweet.
Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to target the driver of this car
Okay.
with another one of my magic stones.
Okay.
So it's gonna go ahead and do that. That's a crit.
Damn. Yeah, that is.
That's a crit stone.
Yes.
Um,
Crit stone.
A crit stone.
You've been stoned. Sorry.
Is there any point in adding the motive potential to a crit?
If you want to do the
guess if I
crit
want to-
damage of that extra die.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah. So roll. That's a D8. What is it? A D what?
I think it was a D8, but I also have to do a con save for each of them.
It's within 5 feet, right? So
Yeah.
I guess if they're within 5 feet of each
Yeah,
other.
technically, I'll allow it. Only one
Yeah.
saved. The Warforged saved. The other two did not.
Okay. So D8. Ooh, sorry. Keep clicking the wrong thing. D8. That's a 5.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so this
crit on the
tiefling,
driver.
you watch this tiefling, or no, sorry, the driver. You watch the driver fall unconscious, like, as you hit him in the back of the head. He is not a muscular, strong dude. But the other two look fine, and you will need to make me a dexterity saving throw as a reaction.
Why?
But he's casting Hellish Rebuke on you because you dealt damage to him. Little does he
that
know you're a
spell.
fireman.
That's a 9.
Oh, you'll take half damage because you're resistant to fire. 11 damage of fire.
11 is after the half, or
No, that's before the half.
Okay, so have to 6 or 5.
5. Always round down.
That's what I thought. And I say, you know better than to cast fire at me, do you not?
I don't know you.
Look at me!
That's fair.
What is happening?
What happened is I just cast a magic rock at the head of the driver of that car, and he is now unconscious.
He's concussed.
Yeah.
But
Through
your
fire.
very handy motive potential also exploded and caused some more thunder damage.
I can't believe
stuff.
you channeled divinity blew up one of my cars.
It was the
I'm still bitter.
That is what I do, my friend. I am a Tempest cleric with the mark of Keranos.
I'm telling you, the Tempest.
Karen. With the mark of Karen.
I am a Karen, okay? You do not want to mess with me.
Oh, we already know that.
Okay, so with
It's real
that,
rare.
that is the end of your turn. Up next, Hugh, you're up.
Me? Alright. I know that our armor is damaged.
Correct.
So I will give
We have
the
a
other two
Band-Aid.
teammates a chance to do something about it.
Yeah,
before I
I'm gonna slap my big band-aid on her.
You watch as, without a check or anything, it does heal this mishap. That is its purpose.
Full speed ahead.
And now there's a big band-aid on her. It's decorative.
Okay. It was supposed to just dissolve into nothing, but yeah, it's still there.
Oh, but I want it to be
Yeah,
aesthetic.
it's still there. I'll allow it.
Alright.
I did my job this turn.
You did very good. I guess
You
with
can go
nothing
ahead.
else to do, we just go forward, right? Run this guy over.
Yeah, he's cleared the path for us. Let's go.
Yeah. We'll try to swing through this guy.
Try to swing directly over his vehicle.
Yeah, basically,
I
yeah.
made the cutest flump, guys.
Go around him.
He was really putting that vehicle proficiency to work right now.
He
He's like-
is.
He's
Yeah.
plotting all these routes and stuff. Sage is just like, let's barrel ahead.
Okay. So, dexterity saving throw, right?
Anything
Yes.
different?
Okay, he is going to attempt a juke as well.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
A 23.
Oh,
Never
you got
mind,
it.
I added both of the
Chrono, get
dice
back.
together.
Oh.
It was actually a 15.
Oh, well, you still need it. Well.
Would you like
that
to
would
chrono
pass.
shift it?
Yeah. Do that.
Reroll.
Do that stuff.
It's gonna be a 13 instead. No, 12 instead.
Yeah. 19 damage.
Oh my gosh, roll a d20. Somebody roll a nat 20, please.
No.
18.
My life is
I got as close as I
miserable.
could.
I'm just gonna let it happen. You watch as the vehicle.
Everybody clip Mag saying, I'm having fun, and then clip at the very end.
My life is miserable. You watch as this car does a full ass over kettle flip in the air. As
I've never heard that phrase before, but I really like it.
Well, ass over kettle? You'll have never heard ass over. Is that a southern thing? It's not even a southern.
Not
It sounds
kettle.
Why is there an ass and a kettle? those two things don't seem
Okay,
to
chat, I need help. Chat, I need someone to support me right now. Please, chat, help me.
It's like the ass calling the kettle black.
Ass over end is what I've always. Ass over tea kettle in or as if in a somersault.
Why is your ass in a tea
First
kettle?
Google definition that pulls up.
I feel like that would burn my ass.
I feel like she's lying.
No, I googled it and it was the first thing that came up.
Meg made that up.
I didn't. I looked it up. It's right there. I was doing the same thing that she was at the exact same time.
Apparently it came from, there's a story, like this dude that was walking down the stairs and the stair gave out and he fell and his ass went over the kettle. That's apparently the story.
That's stupid.
He was just walking down the stairs and
That
his
sounds
ass
like a
went
Florida
over
man
the
experience.
kettle. Yeah.
This saying came from
Already
Florida.
falling down. We don't need to bring boiling water in.
Okay. There are currently only 3 racers left, and everyone has lost interest in the race, as there are 4 OP individuals on each car. There's still a sleeping dude on this car. He's.
Oh yeah, we never knocked him off yet. I just ignored him and was like, Band-Aid.
I'm just along for the ride now, bro.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can you like turn? Can you just like?
Oh, what, like full Scooby-Doo movie when Shaggy's dancing and just beats the crap out of that man on accident?
Because I can send him in the middle of the woods if that's what you want me to do, Molly.
I mean, it's either that or I bonus action turn into something. But
just make a general strength check if you want to push him off the boat.
Oh, me?
I cannot do
Or
that.
no, I'm driving. Okay.
you can try though. I mean, he's asleep. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, it's just a 10 or
can
better
get
kind of roll. Yeah, I'll give you advantage too.
Since he's asleep, and I have a -2 for strength. Where?
I just want you guys to know, I'm the best at making
It's
flumps
not
now.
saving throw, right? Is it saving throw?
No, it's an opposed athletics check, I think, or something.
Well, it's not an opposed because he's asleep.
Yeah. Alright, so with a 14, you watch he kind of opens his eyes as he gets shoved off, and you whisper in his ear Lion King reference. And he screams as he falls into the woods. You drove through a few trees that weren't cleared, so it's gonna be. Okay. That bounces off your armor. That bounces off your armor. 1 gets through and hits you for just enough to go through your armor. 10 damage.
In damage.
And I need you to roll me. Let's get Selene. Roll me a d20 for a mishap for
Isn't there
Hughes.
another ship behind us that's coming to pick up their guys?
No. They sent him to Narnia. You watch as your steering wheel locks up as you feel your back tire kind of get caught under a tree for a moment. So your steering is locked. You have to go forward.
Looks like we're going forward.
Okay.
Go forward anyway.
At the end of
Alright, Mr. Hugh Man.
Okay, it's Hugh's turn. That guy's gone. These guys are gonna continue to pull ahead, or at least try to. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, almost to the new map. Sage, you're up.
We're just gonna keep barreling right at him.
Okay.
You got another. You guys got a couple more attacks locked and loaded.
I've got one more rock.
I'm out of wrecking balls.
At this point, the tiefling is laying on the ground unconscious, and the warforged is taking over driving. By the way.
Cool.
My gosh. What a day to be alive. Wind in your hair.
Wait, can I try to use crushing wheels on it? Am I close enough?
You don't have crushing wheels on your car. You chose the wrecking ball instead, and it did actually just obliterate one car. So I will.
Yeah, nuke the dude.
I will say that it was a good choice.
A success.
It was a moment of true fear for those people.
Cast Bardic Inspiration on Asher again.
Okay, Asher, what are you doing?
Oh, I have another moat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
you got a brand
see.
new moat, buddy.
A brand new moat.
Brand
Brand new moat. It's shiny. It's ready to go.
All right. Well then, since we're so close, I was like, might as well use my last rock, and I fling it at the warforged driving.
Okay. Roll the hit. Crit again. I bet you won't. I'll scream like a toddler.
That'd be hilarious.
What if I scream like a toddler?
Okay.
Yeah. No, 15 though. That's respectable.
Would
And
you
then
like to
but I'm
use your
mad
moat? Okay.
that I certainly will.
So 15 would not hit.
How about a 19?
That'll do it. Pop him upside the forehead. Con saves for him and the other dude. He fails. Other dude succeeds this time. What's your extra D8 damage?
The 4.
Oh, is that how that works?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool.
So these modes of potential are freaking awesome. I wish we knew all these extra effects before.
Yeah. No.
Because I'm looking at the other stuff too. Like ability check is essentially advantage on the bardic inspiration. Like you can roll it again,
Mm-hmm.
and like the saving throw gives you temporary HP.
Yeah.
Dude, I've had these notes. I have like a Google Doc of notes of all the stuff that goes with my class, and I read through these 3 paragraphs at least 6 times. Still missed that.
Yeah. So
So
8
much information.
8 damage to the warforged from just the rock, and then whoever failed the con save
Okay,
also
so
gets the 4.
He
thunder
takes
damage.
12. He's not looking good, but he's still there. Selene, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go with another magic missile.
On the driver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. 6. That is just a bit over enough to knock this dude unconscious. So now all that's left is the tiefling, and the tiefling pushes him out of the way, and he gets on the driver's seat instead.
They are trying.
They're doing their best. Yes. Hugh, you're up, and you will blast us into the next map.
Forward.
Oh, wait, can we
Molly,
fix
you're
our
up.
wheel first? Can we fix our
Oh.
wheel?
Yeah, if you want to try to do that, that's
How
fine.
do we
I was just
fix
gonna
that
Keep going forward
again?
forever.
You roll repair.
You need to roll just a check. It's a strength check.
Oh, this
Oh.
is gonna go poorly, but between Sherlock and I, it's gotta be me. Oh, I got a 19!
19. You watch as the wheel unlocks, and you can move as you enter this new area. That's the wrong
Put the
one.
grease on my face like war paint.
We were stuck on a tree, so maybe she just dissolved the tree.
I would not dissolve the tree. I definitely would just fix the wheel and put on the grease on war paint and be like,
Okay.
ah! But it's really weak because I'm a girl. Not that girls are weak.
You just
Except
scream,
Molly is.
"Witness me."
She's in the moment. She came full intentions to just be the flag girl, and now is repairing cars.
And Sherlock is the flag girl.
You are having a big.
Yeah, Sherlock is
you're
a
having
flag
a.
girl. Identity crisis.
No, it's a. Somebody help me.
Epiphany?
What's the? There was a woman who built, or the lady who built all the airplanes during World War II.
Earhart?
Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, Rosie you're having a Rosie the Riveter
It's
look.
okay. Mag only learned about who she was recently.
I will
so-
end you,
I
sir.
know, because I had socks
Shame.
that were Rosie the Riveter, and he didn't know that that's what they were.
Shame.
I don't read.
Amelia Earhart. How did you not know who Amelia Earhart was?
Hey,
No,
Amelia.
not Amelia Earhart. Rosie the Riveter.
Guys, Amelia Earhart was an alien, so there's that.
I'm an alien.
That's
Anyway,
fair.
I can't see the map.
I get that reference back.
Proud of you. Proud of me. You watch as you stumble out of this forest to an active lumber yard. No one's here currently, but there are piles of lumber everywhere and actual buildings that you probably should avoid, except for if your name's Hugh. I don't know what's going to happen here, and I'm nervous. Hugh, it's your turn.
I can't.
Good thing you
That's
go
right. Hey,
around.
I can't actually see the map.
Yeah, I can't see the map.
You're going to need to refresh it, probably.
Oh,
Or
okay. All right. Let me refresh.
Wait, so what happened to that last tiefling on the... Oh, no, we're still driving.
correct,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were saying, like, we, like, all got out of the car and we're just in this yard now.
No,
It's like
the
a-
cars are about to drive through an active lumber yard. That is the issue.
All right. Let me
in the
ask
parking
you a
lot.
It's
question.
like, who designed this race course?
Okay.
Why are there buildings?
Well, I just fixed the wheel and had a war cry, so.
All right. So, okay. These are not pointed the right way to become ramps upon which I can go over.
We have to
the
get our
building.
power-ups.
Oh, you're
Oh
right.
yes, I do
perhaps.
need everyone to make me a either a to hit or a well yeah, just a to hit with whatever you're using.
Alright.
How far
24.
away are these power-ups?
Not super far. If you wanted to jump, you could just make an athletics check.
Alright, well, I'm gonna throw a fireball at this time from, like, well, a produce flame
Okay,
fireball.
that's good.
Oh.
Okay. I was like fireball.
Oh wait, that's Sage.
No, sorry, it's only the middle two. So yeah, okay, you get one with 12 and a 24 also gets one. So roll me a d6, the both of you. Asher and Mollie.
1.
I have 5.
Alright, with a 1, you see this arrow kind of thing that just appears in your hand, and it has like a little tag on it that reads speed boost, and you just press it to the floor and it will
Nice.
double your speed the next turn.
Our music bot left, but the good
I
thing
got
is
it.
our cameras didn't get messed up.
Camera. I was just about to type
Nice,
that in
yeah.
chat.
I did a thing, and I'm really proud of it. Red Mage,
What
thank
did
you
I
for
get?
being a deity. What'd you roll? A 5. So a 5 is another band-aid.
Yes!
Yo, did I hear we can go through this building?
It would not.
Yep.
There is a band-aid in case you do.
Hugh, I have a band-aid.
Oh boy. All right.
It's one of them
across
big
and, like-
band-aids that I can turn into a dress.
I'm yelling across like, Molly, we could use a band-aid over here. Do you want to trade?
No, this is my band-aid.
All right, hold up. Maybe I want blood instead. Let me see something.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I guess you're right. If you take him out, it's over, really, right? Like,
Yeah.
7
yeah.
squares away. I could get here with 10,
oh my god.
and I'd clip this corner. I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Going for it.
Okay.
In this
That's
moment, the DM regretted that he increased the movement speed of the vehicle.
No, I really don't, because that would have taken so long with what y'all were moving at. It was like 3 turns on one map, and I was like, I made 10 maps. I want us to get through a few of them, please.
Yeah.
Like, don't let all my work be in vain.
But yeah, that's
And then we just get to have a joyride together with
Yeah, everybody does
going
a...
right for him.
Okay. Roll me,
Go.
oh wait, it's a dex save, right?
Yeah, it's a dex
This
save.
guy is not proficient in his car at all. Oh, he does save, though. But they aren't looking great. There's only one guy left.
Did the other 2 fall off?
No, they're just unconscious, like, in the car, currently.
Oh, okay.
All right, so where does our vehicle end up? Is it like over here?
Well,
Since
if you're
we weren't
wanting to
able to,
hit
like-
him, I would say at a straight angle, you hit him and then bounce off right about here. Where the car
cool with
is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I need to put you back on the car.
Yeah, don't want to fall off.
Alright, so with that, 16 damage, I need a mishap. Roll me a d20. I think Sherlock hasn't done one in a while.
I'll roll one.
Make it something good, because I can't put the band-aid on until
Three.
next turn.
3.
That's another steering wheel locked up, I think.
Yeah, so their steering wheel just locks, and they are not happy. Not
Bad when you start memorizing all the
yeah.
missteps.
Do we
Fair.
take them out or do we finish the race like champions?
Sherlock, have you done anything yet this turn?
Not this turn, no.
You want to try and fix the steering wheel? I know you
Oh,
have a
your
low
steering wheel.
strength modifier,
Y'all's.
but...
No, that wasn't y'all's. That was the other car that you hit.
Oh, I thought it was ours.
No, you're good. But I will say the tiefling is looking woozy, so if y'all want to end this, you have the ability to.
Oh, I thought it was ours for some reason. I don't know why.
No, you're good.
You shatter the front of that vehicle. Wouldn't that be cool?
Shatter
and then
me.
Cage's vehicle will run straight into the back
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, Sherlock's still
Yeah.
got a shatter in his pocket, he said, so...
I do.
Well,
We gotta watch though because of our friends are behind them.
Just put it
I
at
do
the
have
front
a
of the
big
vehicle.
band-aid though.
Molly's starting to wonder if she should keep Big Band-Aid in her healing kit for future uses.
Where can I buy big band-aid?
Big
Can I use
Fantasy Costco.
I just roll it out.
Fantasy
like, here it is.
Costco, where all your dreams come true. Got a deal for you. That's a good task pull too.
I want to mind sliver the tiefling and just like suck the last little bit of energy he has out. I don't want to kill
Mind
him.
sliver, how cruel.
Yeah, you're gonna suck the
I
last
just
of his
wanna-
energy. With intelligence
He's already
save.
going.
Intelligence save is
Knock him out with
8.
his friend. He did not.
Oh, that's a fail, my friend.
We just collect all the prizes from
Or
the sky
psychic
on our
damage.
way to the finish line.
Okay, with that, you hear a loud horn. And you hear the overhead speaker, who's been chatting this whole time, and I haven't been doing any of it, but he says, and that's it, folks. Both cars are helmed by racers from the shorty stocks. So
Wait, but can we roll something to see which one? Like, can we race to the end of the track?
I'm
and see
totally
which
okay with that.
car actually
I'm just
wins?
gonna do a straight D20. Tommy will add his proficiency and Sage will not,
no.
because
All right.
it was just a D20.
Come on, yo.
I'm giving you a massage right now. Massage time.
Alright, so slash R 1d2 plus 3. 20.
Okay, Sage, hit that D20 button. Give it
That
to
nat
us.
20. Sage, let's see.
My last roll was a d20, and it wasn't for anything because I thought you
Oh,
told me
hey,
to roll.
can he
I'm not gonna
bardically
get it.
inspire himself?
Yes, he can, but it won't
Yeah,
save a 5.
bardically inspire yourself.
It wouldn't have gotten to 20.
No.
So.
Oh,
Okay. Hugh pulls ahead either because of just sheer ability or lack thereof
They had to
ability
go
from
around
the
that
other.
small
Yeah,
time.
that's also part of it. Like, Hugh doesn't really care about all the piles of lumber and respective materials. Sage delicately tiptoed around them, and with this, you pull into this end zone, and the crowd's going wild. They're like, "Did you watch him blow up their ass, dude?" And they
I'm
all
Princess
point toward Asher for a minute. They're like, "He's got to be one of the top-ranked students in his class."
He's not. He's not.
I'm like trying to like shut up Molly, and I'm like, I blew up the ass and the kettle.
yeah.
12. Out of 12.
You hear, you have it, the new winners of the raceway.
I'm princess waving. Like I won a pageant.
Shorty meets you in the end, kind of checking on her babies, and she looks at you and she says, "Y'all didn't even damage it that much. I'm going to."
I have a big band-aid. Do you still need a big band-aid?
No, I'm fine. If you're all
rolls it
interested
up.
in doing this again sometimes, I have some much more competitive races that I could now think about entering because, well,
Fun.
this was.
We just paid for your vehicles.
Well, yeah, you did, and I could even get. She says, "Now this is a little different, but they have what they call a monster derby, where everyone builds the biggest, strangest vehicle they can see, and then they just hit each other until everybody goes to sleep. That's in a couple of months. Would you 6 be interested?
Can I be some sort of flag girl?
Do you want to participate at all?
I don't want to actually get in the truck.
Okay.
Hey, that was a lot of fun. I want to do it again.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'll put you all down except for Molly for another time. I'll try to get you a gig as a flag girl, or what
That'd be
doesn't
great.
at the beginning of races doesn't like a girl walk out and then like throw a tissue up or something?
A flag. It's a flag.
Is that what that is? I don't really care.
it's a
I
flag.
just do the mechanics. Well,
I
I
just
want to
get to look real
appreciate you
pretty.
all. I appreciate you all. And you watch as she like goes up to the top, comes down with this like very large bag of gold, and reaches in and pulls each of you out 10 platinum, minus Selene. And Selene, she tosses you a small key, and she says, "Now, like I told you, I'm not paying for your batteries or anything, but that's yours now. Do you want the ox head, or do you want me to change the sorry, do you want me to get rid of the ox horns for the handlebars? That's more of my aesthetic, so I didn't know if you'd want it or not."
Yeah, that'd be good. You think you could make me you could make it look a little more me and a little less you?
Rude. A. B. Yeah, I suppose I could. And you listen to the jingle of the bag, and with I would say just with Celine's past drug deals and the amount of money that they like stumble upon every now and then, that's a hefty bag, and it sounds like platinum, not gold. And she did just reach in and hand you all like 100 platinum or 10 platinum each. And so she is a relatively wealthy 10th ringer right now in comparison to most of the individuals. And she says, now, I know that none of y'all have any sort of artifice type training or anything like that, but I do want to let you know, you become a friend of mine, one of you may be my brother, I don't know, I'm still good with that for now. But if you ever need anything magically enhanced or enchanted or perhaps modified, come by my shop. Maybe I can start some sort of making some money off of my abilities now that I'm starting to understand them a little better.
I think unrelated to what she just said, but I think if you look over at Asher right now, like his collar and some of his clothes were a little bit like disheveled, as like he was getting way too into
there's at
race.
least like 5 or 6 young people, and then like at least 3 or 4 like attractive young women, not young, but yeah, like your age about women who have all come up and be like, oh, do you go to Strixhaven? You got magic. A couple of them are a little country, a couple of them are more like city people, and they're like, oh, you're very impressive. I watched you at least should blow that whole car up, mister. What's your name?
My name is Asher, but like as I'm talking to them though, like I'm like basically straightening myself back up, like basically trying to look like I didn't enjoy that as much as I did.
Yeah.
Just not like everything's fine, and we're gonna get back to work here. That was frivolous.
Frivolous.
I don't know what that word means,
we all
but
need a little recreation from time to time.
I didn't
okay,
see many frills on the cars.
that's what I was thinking.
But yes, it's nice to meet you, young women. My name is Asher Calloway.
We won't forget it.
Atlanta.
We hope to see you again here sometime soon. Or perhaps
Yes,
we could see you
pleased
somewhere
to make your
else.
acquaintance. Yes, perhaps you can attend a service of mine sometime.
Never mind. They all walk away.
Way to ruin it.
They all walk away.
Molly rolls her eyes about this.
Sure.
She's taking her heels off to like step down from the.
And I'm like, oh, wait, come back. I have so much more to tell you.
No.
No.
That is not the way to get girls, Asher.
I think Hugh just throws the door open on the vehicle and is just like, yeah.
He goes into a rage now.
And Sherlock will just kind of like jump off of the top there.
I think internally Asher's sort of struggling with whether he even like should pursue romantic relationships.
That's true.
He's like, hey, that was kind of fun.
Well, you did learn recently that not all love is prohibited by the church, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
as they're walking away, I guess I'm like, I could do some more magic.
Ooh! One of them turns around and runs back to you.
It's holy magic. I call.
I just kind of like just cast whatever like simple spells that I could think of.
That's so impressive. How did you get magic? Are you a noble? What house are you from? Who's your dad? Do you have lots of money?
No.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
I like answer in succession.
Yeah,
just well, I've always had it. My father's name is I forget what he even said.
He's isn't it like Alistair?
Alistair, yeah, I think that's what it was, or Atticus, or
Atticus.
one of those two.
No. Is it Atticus?
No, I don't think it's Atticus because Atticus is the lawyer.
Sherlock.
Atticus Finch or whatever.
Yeah, Atticus Finch is the
I think it was
lawyer.
Atticus.
It might be.
Well, anyway, yeah, I'm
Looking it up now.
I've always had magic. My father's name is this, and yes, to an extent.
Yes, to an extent.
Do you have a
It
girlfriend?
is Atticus. It's Atticus Calloway.
Atticus, okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Uh-oh.
Molly left over.
Is it getting hot in here?
You're made of fire.
You're made of fire.
You're made of
Oh, yeah,
fire.
yeah,
You ain't getting out of this one, brother.
That must be what it is. I guess not.
Oh, she says, "Okay, well, I'll get a hold of you if I ever want to," and she kind of runs off back to her friends.
We don't have cell phones.
Okay,
Makes this a little sus to me.
If you I'll be the guy that's made of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And she runs away.
Okay.
How to
You missed
Scare
the hot
Away
guy
Women
joke.
101 with your Professor Asher. That's a good comment. Count as GG.
I cast Shape Water or Create Water, whatever the fuck I have. Shape Water and splash it over Asher's head.
Oh no.
The flames just kind of get a little lower. And it's
like with a Gatorade, like
not a lot, just like a cup of
No,
water.
no, what I
like,
mean
from
is
a
it like
canteen.
I guess what I mean is it from the intention of like a GG end of a football game Gatorade or like a cool off?
No, it's like cool it off,
Okay.
cut it out.
Yeah, I got
type
you.
of
Okay.
situation.
yeah, you see the flames on my head just like get a little shorter and just like steam. Just like
You hear a sizzle.
I'm looking around and I'm like, where's the crowns? Where's the sashes? Where's the trophies?
I got paid.
None of that. Where's my sash? We won.
We don't really do sashes. I can make you a little trophy when I get home if you'd really like one.
Do any?
Okay, well then I won't, cause I don't want to.
I mean, I just thought, I won a bunch of pageants before, and I got crowns and sashes from that.
Well, I mean, you can.
That's a different kind of race.
Yeah, it's different.
That's still a race. These people were not as mean as the girls in the race in the beauty pageants. I'll tell you that right now.
Good lord. She says, I do believe you there. There's nothing more mean than a woman who is ashamed of how she looks, so she feels she needs to dress up and get on a stage and perform to everybody.
Oh, honey. It's not about that. It's not about the actual beauty. It's about dog eat dog.
It's about-
just like out here.
About taking the W's.
Yep.
So, with that, unless any of you have anything else y'all want to talk about here, you can all head back to school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selene would ask Shorty before they leave. She'd be like, "Hey, so I know that I've got my bike and that's great and everything, but I was wondering if I could have just a little bit to bring home for the kids, so they can eat."
Y'all fed me when I needed feeding. So, yeah, I will. Just, don't come to me every weekend like some of y'all do to some people. And she hands you 2 platinum pieces. That should be enough she says, this should be enough to feed the kids for a good month or so.
Thank you.
Please make sure it goes where you say it should go.
Alright, guys. We should have a celebratory meal.
We're at.
Yes.
With Factor?
Factor.
Speaking of
if we were
Factor.
gonna take a break, that's what I was about to go heat up.
Yeah, I was gonna also say we need to take a break, and it's about
Yeah,
break
I think
time.
break would be great.
So, thank you all for joining us for this race. This message will be brought to you by Factor. If you haven't signed up yet, please go get your food. It's just really good. I just had this many
It is
wings.
actually really good.
Had this many
Do
wings.
it. It's good. It's delicious. It looked pretty. You'll like it.
Code
and
is
it
in the
helps us
chat.
out.
Code is in the chat. But we're gonna BRB. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Alright, I didn't realize what time it was when I said we were gonna go to Be Right Back. So we really appreciate you all hanging out. We're gonna sit here and chat, and if anybody wants to talk about the session or what they liked or things they like or things even that you want to see happen, definitely go join our Discord and stuff so you can say those things when we're not live. But we'd like to talk with y'all about like things you want to see that happen on the stream, like interactions that you can have. I thought I got rid of you. Try it again.
No.
Somebody do it
I'm
again.
sorry.
Okay,
Wait,
good.
I
I fixed it.
will.
I fixed it.
Do you want me to do Discord one again?
No,
I'll
no,
do
I
Discord one.
fixed it. So okay.
Yeah, but Tommy did Fireball and not Discord.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But like I was saying, we really appreciate you all hanging out. If you want to chat, or if anybody has any questions they want to ask about the characters, or like how we play D&D or anything like that, we'll sit around for a little bit and talk. We're just not going to get into a new chat. We feel like that's a really good leaving off place for the campaign, the characters wise. Next week we will begin the Sun arc. Is my expectation. So.
Sun arc,
Yes.
like
I would
celestial
say-
body sun,
Like
or
celestial
like
body sun. Yes.
okay, not like child sun.
Yeah.
I mean,
It could be
it
somebody's
could be
son.
both.
Oh.
I will not pry any further.
Could be your son.
Next
Whoa.
Could be.
on Call
Or maybe
of
you're the
Duty.
Oh. Somebody's a baby
We
daddy.
did do some weird stuff last weekend.
I'm uncomfortable.
You did pass out for a while.
God almighty.
I accidentally did drugs.
Minotaurs are
You know,
are heavy.
I just genuinely had a great time. I don't know about you guys, but Griff and I, we got some dancing in.
I almost killed a man.
So did Gearlin. Me and Gearlin and Griff had the most amazing time, and that sounds really bad after I said it out loud.
Maybe it's Molly's
I'm
son.
glad
A great
Molly-
time.
They had
Oh
a great
my
time.
This got awkward, guys.
They get weird in here.
It's
Somebody
even more
crack a
awkward
window.
if you're not here.
Well, like we said, we really appreciate you all, and we are going to go ahead and probably call it for the night. I'm trying to find someone to raid, and seeing as we don't have anyone asking questions or anything, we can definitely just go ahead and call it. You got
Check our Discord.
Guys, thank you for being here.
You don't have to.
Yeah. I know it's not a
And our
D&D thing,
Black
but
shirt
like,
guys here.
No,
Wait,
Black
check-
hat guys.
I need to check
was
our
very-
Discord.
Yeah. In the admin chat.
Oh.
we have a secret chat. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
nobody can see it. It's illegal. Yeah, I suppose I
Good.
don't mind. We've usually just rated D&D people, but
Rhaegar.
Let me
Yeah,
go
I know
ahead.
her. She's one of my wives.
Let me go ahead and read you some
Who-
funny
who is
stuff
it?
that.
Which one?
Which one?
Here's a recap from today. At 5:27, I said, "Hey, bitches."
Oh god.
Just
At that same
That
minute,
checks.
Pajama Hero said, "It's me. I'm bitches."
It's me, I'm bitches.
And then I said, "Oh my gosh, I missed you." And then there is a gif of Shaq going, "I'm back." How's that for a recap of
We
the
should
secret
just
admin chat?
open the admin chat one day for everybody to see our nonsense bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's just gonna be how many times has
I'll make sure there's
has
not
Sugar
any
Bun went,
pertinent
"Hey
information."
bitches, sup fuckers." That's a favorite one of mine that I don't use
So
enough.
endearing.
It is quite
You
endearing.
guys.
And then at, like,
we love you
12 at
guys.
night.
We're gonna go
Bye,
ahead
guys,
and
love
raid
you.
over to, I'm gonna try to say this right, Kiyomiya.
Yes.
And she's a
Kiyomiya.
VTuber who recently reached affiliate, a friend of the family. And so we appreciate you all, and send them some love.
Have a good
Yeah.
weekend.
Bye.
Do it.
Time.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Nice. I gotta turn the volume up so it might echo. So I can